Hello and welcome everyone. We're back with a King of the Hill, so I hope everybody's doing really well today. Looks like we have Human Boy in chat, Undead and CJ. So it's your boy Logic, and today we are going to be doing the Tzeentch edition. Now what does this mean? This is a special tournament here that was originally hosted by the amazing Human Boy. If you don't know him, do go check his channel out. Awesome guy. Go type in Human Boy yes in YouTube and go give a cheeky subscription. But he came up with an awesome idea of the Chaos Gods, and I'm going to be stealing it today. I hope he doesn't mind too much. But today, what it will be is with Tzeentch, once you have played a faction, if you win, you must be that faction afterwards. So in this example, Aldelmo here from RTK, he will be playing as the Winter Tooth, and a Rubber Duck of War here will be using just Norsca. So either of those win, they have to use the losing player's faction, and then continue into the next game. So, hope you're all doing well, hope you're all having a great day, and yeah, we'll pop into this. So, hi, Aldelmo's mum. Brilliant. Alright, so, looks like we're going to be hopping in. Aldelmo is ready. We're going to be playing on Warhammer as the first map. One of the better competitive maps in the game, I think, in my opinion. I really do like Warhammer. Hey, Ludwig, how are we? I hope we're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Of course, from the GGX clan. If you don't know those guys, I'm sure if Ludwig would like to, and the rest of the guys, feel free to drop a comment there. If you go onto my Discord, you should be able to go down to self-promotion. You should be able to see community resources. Feel free to, for you guys to leave down a link to the GGX clan if you want to. If you guys are looking to get involved with a really cool clan, GGX, of course, awesome clan as well. DBD here from Rubber Duck of War and RTK from Aldelmo. All awesome clans. If you guys want to get involved in some more friendly team-based things, joining clans is certainly where you can improve in. Mr. Cypher, how are we? Kyle as well, how are we doing? Love how they are trying to screw each other over. I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. Let's hop in, let's get loaded. So welcome, haven't seen you here before, Carl, and Ludwig, it's lovely to have you back. What brings you here, Carl? You played much Warhammer before? Did somebody send you over here? Mr. Down Under Brother, hey brother, how I hope you are doing well. I am doing well. I am extremely tired, but I am pumped to be back on the live streams. I miss the live streams, man. I miss them. I miss them so much. But I'm back, and I'm happy. How are you doing then, brother? I hope you are well. I hope you're well. Hope all things have been going well for you. Norsca Mirror, nice. Yes, indeed. It's certainly a matchup we don't see very often here in the community. However, Norsca also rarely seen as well, to be fair. So this is going to be an extra special event to start off the stream. And listen, I'm not complaining. So it should be pretty fun. I think here, both sides, obviously, relatively cheap infantry. I'm going to be expecting some sort of skirmish cavalry game, I imagine. I think one side will, if not both sides, will be having 6 levels of skirmish cavalry. I think here, if you had to favour one side for micro-ability, you'd probably go Rubber Duck of War, but at the same time, Aldelmo is a player that comes out firing. I think he might go in a bit of a counter here. Okay, so 4 units of cavalry. It looks like the Beasts of Tash. No, Norscan Warhounds. Yeah, pretty decent counter. If he goes with only cav, he's certainly going to get caught. Oh, gorgeous! The Mist Stalkers. The ROR for mere warriors here with their armor sundering, armor piercing, and magical attacks here with From the Mist. And of course, that stalk ability with Vanguard and Terror. We are going to have the Beasts of Tash-Nar. Actually quite like their design. I think they're quite cool, but of course these are going to be the anti-large bonus first large models, and of course we will have the Norscan Ice Wolves that do have the slow. So very good here indeed. We are going to have a Marauder Chieftain, and it looks like a Skin Wolf working. Anti-large, of course, Ruinous Flesh as well. Frenzy and that regeneration. Anti-large armor piercing, and an absolute ginormous pain. Looks like the Marauder Chieftain will be the choice here with Fight or Die, Foe Seeker, and it looks like the Flaming Axe of Cormac. And in the front here, of course, we are going to have the Shaman of Fire, Burning Head, Fireball, Kindle Flame, and the Scroll of Shielding. Looks like Marauders to dot along the front line just to make it a little bit wider here. Skirmish Cavalry in of Horsemen. So for the... Sorry, that's for a Rubber Duck of War. I do apologise. In for Aldelmo. Apologies. In for Aldelmo, we are going to have double Horsemen. Just like 4 units of Horsemen on the side. We are going to be having Norscan Warhounds, mixing in with a bit of a wider front line here. It's like 5 units. And also 2 of the Marauder Berserkers in the back. We are going to have the double Skin Wolves. And it looks like here we are going to be having a Balefend of Fire. Burning Head, Fireball, no Kindle Flame, but From the Mist and Arcane Conduit with Throg Daddy. The Wintertooth Crown, as well as Copious Vomits, and in the sky here, of course, the Frostworm. Here with its chilling aura for that negative slow to speed, and that Frost Breath, which can be super powerful indeed. If I had to pick a side, where am I leaning right now? Skinwolf Working is an absolute G pick, I'm not going to lie, but I think it certainly favours the side of the Norskins, I think. I think the Skirmish Cavalry, because the Doggos can deal with the rest of the Skirmish Cavalry here. They'll apply pressure. The Doggos will keep the Skirmish Cavalry wide, whilst this Skirmish Cavalry can just shoot into the cheap front line. We do actually have the Icehorn Marauders. A very nice unit there with that perfect Vigour and immune to Psychology. For 600 cross, I actually do kind of like the Icehorn Marauders. Bit boring in their RTK, in their RRR status. You can see there's nothing really special about them. But their stats indeed are nice. I think, you know, CA could really do with, especially Warhammer 1, some of the RORs could be done with doing a bit better. Recovering from surgery, I'll check up today. Yeah, indeed, dude, indeed. I'll certainly invest in the stream today and then come back. But looks like some kiting in the front line here from Mr. Aldelmo. Ducky as well, going to be counter-kiting here with the Horseman. Trying to see if we can get some nice shots in. He's definitely going to get the better of the trades there. I think you'd rather take some damage from your Marauders rather than your Horsemen. 4 against 4, and of course we've got 1 Doggo here up against 3 from Ducky. So, you know, trades will effectively go in the way of the Norskins. But for the Wintertooth, we certainly do have the Frostworm. That is something to take into consideration. Big damage there on 1 unit of Horsemen. The rolls definitely served on the side here, the Norskins in the blue. Big shots coming in on the right-hand side as well. Looks like a couple of those javelins going to be flying into the Horsemen here on the right as well. No Marauder Horsemasters though, which is quite interesting. 50 armor and the added range can actually be pretty decent, considering all these are base weapon damage. I think they have very limited armor piercing, as far as I'm aware. 7's not bad, but it's not great either. I think certainly going on the side of added armor there, even if only 50, is still relatively good. In the Marauders, we are going to push in here with the Marauder Chieftain. Ducky, a big fan of him, especially in the VC mirror matchup. Sorry, not the mirror matchup, in the VC matchup up against Norsca. That chilling aura could be a problem though. If we get close enough underneath, or at least over the top here in the blind spot of the Marauder Horseman, we can certainly slow them down and maybe try and see if we get some effective doggos. But the problem is we don't. Oh, I think this is a bit of a mistake here. Burning Head, I think, was meant to go down the flank, but unfortunately, their Burning Head going to go, unfortunately, the wrong way there. Find them all in the middle. Is going to catch the flank here in the Marauder Chieftain. On the floor here, we do have some Horsemen shooting into the flank. He's certainly going to get hit, but where is Throg? Now, Throg will struggle here in this matchup. We do have the Skinwolf working. Throg is just going to be chilling at the back. He does that regeneration, so we do probably want to get him involved a little bit here, but of course not too much. Oh no, bit of a micro mistake here in the front. Looks like a breath attack going down on the Mist Stalkers from the Famir, but in comes the Beast of Tashnar. They're going to be hitting up the Marauder Horseman. They were kiting here after the Marauder Chieftain and got a little bit exposed there in the front. Mr. Crablin, how are we doing? In the front here, looks like we have Throg Daddy trying to push through to the front line, trying to see if he can try and get a little bit of that fear going forward. But in the back here, it looks like we have actually lost the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. He's going to be getting surrounded here by Skinwolves, and he's going down so fast here in the middle. That's a really nice trade for trade. I think here for a unit of Skirmish Cavalry to lose the caster, definitely worth it. So well played there. Looks like it's going to come on top here from Mr. Aldelmo. Looks like the Royal Horseman coming in for the right-hand flank. Skinwolf working is busy here dealing with the front line, so he needs to get in the pocket here and come deal with Throg. Looks like we have shattered Scroll Shield and going down here to protect him, but he's already gone. Unfortunately, that is a big loss there for Ducky, but in the sky, we still have that Frostworm. We need to get those doggos involved as well. Obviously, we have a bit of kiting over here. We can get those doggos, and we could certainly move them here towards the Famir Balefend. It's going to be out here on the right, a little bit on its own. No real sort of skirmish or dragon protection here for him, so he can certainly go down pretty quickly. So we are going to be winning the front line here. Looks like we have some Skinwolves coming back into the mixture. Berserkers here fighting up against some Marauders, as well as we do actually have the Beasts of Tashnar and are going to be fighting here up against the Marauder Horsemen as well. So unfortunately here, losing the skirmish game, but certainly going to be winning here on the hero game. I'd like to see some breath attacks here on top of the Marauder Chieftain from the Frostworm. In the back though, looks like some Marauders are going to push through, so we have some doggos on top as well to help clean up. They have shattered. Those doggos need to get busy though. They need to be starting to put some pressure here on top of the Marauder Horsemen. Hunting here at the front, looks like we are going to be shooting. We have Rampage with the Marauder Berserkers coming in with that physical resistance and their last stage of Berserk. Breath Attack should become available pretty soon, but I'd like to see some more cycle charging here. He's facing the wrong direction. You will have only 30%. Oh, there's the Breath Attack coming through. Yeah, okay, damage not bad. But of course, when you are going to be recharging here, only 30% of your melee defense will be activated when you are doing that nice recharge. So of course here, when he is facing the wrong direction, we do need to get that Frost Dragon in here, the Frostworm coming in and really getting some nice cycle charging. Throg as well is going to be in the middle. He's getting busy. Looks like we have the Beast of Tashnar doing some good work in the middle as well. He's not known for having a tremendous amount of armor. 55, it's okay, but it's not great either. Burning Head down the middle. Looks like we did catch some Norsca Warhounds. Also going to be getting on top of those Marauders. How are we doing, Mr. Humor Boy? Hope we're doing well. There he is. A flank charge there. Flank charge, 60% melee defense. But now he's front on. It's going to be full melee defense. So it could be difficult here. Normally here, head on head, the Marauder Chieftain, Foseeker going down as well. Should be able to slap this Frostworm up. It looks like we have the Miststalkers in from behind as well. And it looks like here, unfortunately, going to get caught here in the middle is going to be that Frostworm. That's going to be a huge amount of balance of power. And as you can see here, going down so quickly, and it is really going to shift. We do have the Skinwolves back. We have the Famir Belfiend ready to go. But unfortunately here, we have a bunch of Kite left. Looks like we have 3 Marauder Horsemen here left. We still have the Beast of Tashnar. Looks like we have shattered the Frostworm. It looks like here we did try to use the Unbreakable Wintertooth Crown, but he has gone. And now it's going to be Throg trying to see if he can slam up against the Marauder Chieftain. If he can, that'll be very, very good. I don't know. Ah, here we go. Here's the Skinwolf working. The Skinwolf working will come in and he will just delete Throg if you're not careful. Fighting very strong. ITP will be represented as well. Ruinous Flesh is going to give him 93 armor, 68 melee attack here as well from the Marauder Chieftain. Let's get in and let's get dirty. Throg runs away. He does shatter, and that's going to be the game. Go El Delmo. That's what we have some. Hey, Mr. Captain Morgan. How are we, my friend? Hope we're doing well. So, I love both builds. I love where they tried to go with it. I think Ducky's plan was pretty obvious. Take out the Skirmish Cavalry using the triple Duggos. And then, of course, trying to see if you can skirmish towards the end. We have the Famir Stalkers to try and take down anything large, along with the Marauder Chieftain. That being the so there, 933 for the Frostworm. He performed pretty well, but we got 2,100 for the Marauder Chieftain. Really like the Skinwolf working pick. 1.1k. Very fun. Very fun. Lost his Shaman Sorcerer of Fire there, though. That was a small mistake there. I don't often see that from Ducky, but very nice snipe there from Aldelmo, I must admit. But 1.7 for Throg. We've got 230 for the Famir Belfiend of Fire. He's actually pretty good in his melee stats. So I'd like to see him a little bit more involved in the front line. But of course, there will be able to be sniped. 330, 200, 300 as well for the Ice Marauders, and 311. 885 here for the Berserkers, and 606. With 462, 220, 250, and 480 from the Marauder Horsemen. We got 130 for the Norsca Warhounds, 470 and 1072 for the Skinwolves, and 933. Now, the only reason I would say probably no to the Marauder Berserkers, they did well, I must admit, but of course they have no shields, they've got 15 armor, very susceptible to taking damage up against Kite here. They also are pretty expensive, have a big impact on balance of power, so I think taking a unit that can be easily deleted by Burning Head, can be deleted by just Skirmish Cavalry, even Doggos to that point can come in and rip and do some very, very good damage. So a bit of a risk here, I think, in this matchup. A bit of a risk. But as we can see here, just on the front line, 500, 350, 440, 400, and 300. So definitely the Marauders from Ducky doing better. But of course, they're going to uptrade because they were fighting against Berserkers that are more expensive as well. 608, 590, 717, and 900 for the Marauder Horsemen. 460, 70, and 1100 for the Beast of Tashnar. Probably the best Doggos in the game. Probably. Yeah, probably. 930 for the Miststalkers as well. I think, yeah, they're exceptional. I can't think of a matchup that you probably couldn't use these in, or at least couldn't justify not using them in. But anyway, not enough Shredder. 0 out of 10. I agree, Mother. I agree. So now Ducky has to use this faction, and here is Von Carstein. Hey, buddy. Alright, we'll pick another map. So we will go here with Prague. Yes, so every single time, Ducky will get 2 bans from now on. No risk, no fun. Indeed, indeed, indeed. But I love the Frostworm pick. I think the Frostworm pick was gorgeous. I love them. I think they're incredible. And Eldomo gets a win in my heart for that. Although the Skin Wolf working is really cool as well. We don't see that, so having that as well is really nice. I love Norsca. I think Norsca is a seriously fun faction. There we go. Got acid in something. We are all good. We are all good. Nice, nice, nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Best doggies until flesh hounds. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Skin Wolf hero is so underrated. I think so too, man. I think so too. Do you need the Runeless Flesh? I think so. I think if you're going to go in for him, you have to go all in. But he is very good, I do agree. Yo, the Mihawk. How you doing, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 4 Sigma. Purge the northern filth. Yes, I love it. Wood Elves and Bretonia. I think a good counter to Norsca as well is probably... I do like Vampirates. I think Vampirates is a very strong faction against Norsca. I think it's one they really struggle with. It's one that me and Katama talked about quite a few times, and I've seen it played, and it is a very good counter, I must admit. But, yeah, I think that Norsca. I'd like to see the Norskins do well. I mean, we all like to see the Norskins do well. And also means Ducky has to play Empire next if he wins, or we're going to see some more Norsca, which should be pretty fun. Should be pretty fun. What's your thoughts on Norsca at the moment, everybody? Everybody loving Norsca at the moment? Or what could you do? Thanks for letting me play Logic. No, of course, dude. Anytime. FGA, how we doing? Yeah, it was fun indeed. Yeah. Super fun. How we doing, Nick? Nick Colby? Ruinous Flesh with Glittering Robe can give serious armor to mammoths. It is, does Ruinous Flesh... Is that in a meter radius? Or I thought Ruinous Flesh was just for... I thought it was just for the Skin Wolf working. I think it just gives it... I think it's 23 armor and 20% missile resistance. I want to believe it's like that. Which kind of makes it pretty decent in the matchup, because 93 armor and 20% missile resistance is... Because I think it also has base 15 as well, so that'd be 35%. That makes it pretty good against Kite in that matchup. So actually having that in the mirror matchup is actually like low-key pretty smart, actually, I think. I think it's low-key pretty smart. Perhaps Ducky's not all that blind bandit after all. Empire are also good against Norsca. Empire can do well here. Empire can do well. I think it does favour the Empire. But of course here, Ducky is a very experienced Norsca player. So I think you've also got to take that into consideration. Most matchups you see that people use Norsca are either very good with Norsca. It's like the whole Dowie debate, right? It's the whole dwarfs. If you play against a dwarf player, they're either going to be incredible with dwarfs or they're not going to be good at all. And it's the same with Norsca. There's no real in between, because they're not one of the strongest factions in the game. So those that main them are going to be very good. Love the look of Norsca. Haven't gotten around to trying them yet. Still obsessed with the undead. Yeah, that's fair enough, man. Undead have some pretty cool stuff as well. Norsca is just cost-effective chaos. To a degree, yes. To a degree, yes. I think what's actually important in the matchup in regards to... Let's say if we put Norsca against Chaos, Chaos always has the elements that Norsca need in that matchup. And also, like, for example, the elements that they do have that are, like, the infantry that is armored or the infantry that has armor piercing is so expensive compared to Norsca. Like, the elements that it has to deal with certain factions, it really struggles with. So, for example, their Marauder Champions, way too expensive. Way too expensive for what they do. Way too expensive. What separates good dwarf players from bad dwarf players? How you doing, Nick Bit? Because it's not my... Oh, man. I mean, I could say, like... I could say the same for VC players, right? But, nah, I'm only joking. I think in reality... I think it is an element of micro, but it's more foresight. It's the ability to see how the game is... It's an ability of game awareness of what's happening and be able to react to what's going on immediately. Admittedly, the micro is smaller from Dowie and it always looks less. But the thing is the micro needs to be as fast as any other faction because Dowie are so slow. Because you can react at 1.5 times the speed that I can, my micro has to be on point for the element of speed that I've got. If there is a gap or a hole open, and I do not shut that gap really quickly, you're in. And there's nothing I can do about it. And the thing with Dowie is the first minute to minute and a half of the game is crucial. It is more crucial at that period of time than any other faction in the game. That first 60 to 90 seconds almost defines if Dowie will win or if Dowie will lose. Just on the fact of how the interaction of the opening of the battle goes. For example, artillery fights, holding the box, making sure your range is shooting correctly, or you've got onto the correct targets. And if you're not set up correctly and you've got elements pushing into your box, it's pretty much already over. You know, I played quite a few games against Alfredino. The times that I won were the times that I could hold my box, and the times that he would almost won within the first 60 seconds. What separates dwarves? 4 to 12 feet. Oh, God. Yeah, about a foot. What separates dwarves? Being drunk or sober. This is also true. This is also true. I did actually go out. I went out, like properly out the other week for a work end of season do. And came back and was extremely drunk. And I was like, oh, I could play. And I was like, oh, I can't play. So maybe there's some truth there. Khorne was more infantry, no damage spells. Selesh. Oh, was somebody asking? Are you asking about the 4 original memes? Captain Morgan. What is the Shanesh spin on this? I think it's a magic one. Is that correct? Yeah. So Shanesh was if you took a unit, you had to take at least 3 of it. Yes. That includes single. Yeah, that was a fun tournament. I did the Nurgle one. The Nurgle one was really interesting. You had to take large regenerating units and anything with poison. Pardon me. Regen, poison, and I think it was large. Was it large units, Human Boy? Because I know Dowie. We were struggling with Dowie and an Empire, I think. Anyway, with the Norscans. In the frontier, we are going to have some of those marauder throwing axes. Of course, heavy armored cavalry is present. 1 horseman, 1 more throwing axe as well. The Norscan warhounds mixing in with marauder great weapons. Marauders, more great weapons. Marauders, and some more great weapons. Looks like we have the Famir warriors in the back with those great weapons and a second unit as well. In the back, the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. Looks like it just got moved there. Yes, Shaman Sorcerer of Metal as well here. Who will be Scholar Shielding, Fire and Transportation, Plague of Rust, and Metal Shifting. No Throg Daddy, but we are going to see the Marauder Chieftain here with Fight or Die. The Potion of Full Hardness, I actually don't hate this. 40% charge bonus is actually absurd. And the fact that he's unbreakable can be very useful. And Foe Seeker. This thing's like 60 gold or something stupid. But no Throg today. Don't know how you guys feel about that. I know it's a letdown of the man, the myth, the legend. Beats of Tashnar, and of course the Norscan Ice Wall. So pretty much similar setup here. Super wide here as well from Von Carstein. We are going to be seeing Spearmen mixing in with the unbreakable front line of those flagellants in the sky. Karl Franz, the man, the myth, the chaos, quivering legend. We are going to have Galmaraz, the Reichling Runefang, as well as Foe Seeker, Hold the Line, and Blood Roar. Over on the left, more Spearmen. We are going to have the Sigma Sons, the unbreakable Sigma worshipping heroes here in the front. Spearmen on the flanks here in the pocket with some Huntsmen. So we have some Knights of the Blazing Sun in the back. Yeah, we're going to be having lots of those Knights of the Blazing Sun. Perfect there for the throwing axes to really delve their axes there deep into their armor. In the middle there, some more Huntsmen. And of course for the pocket, we are going to be having a Jade Wizard here just with Earthblood. We are not today going to be having that regrowth. So you have to be super careful here with Mr. Karl Franz, that's for sure. No throwing it in. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? And yes, Logic, large to just simplify. Yeah, no problem, dude, no problem. Yeah, so for those that don't know, this idea came from Human Boy. So please, by all means, do go share him some love. Do go into YouTube after this. Type in Human Boy, yes, and of course go there and cheeky subscription and comment on any video you see saying Logic says hey. Carl France at the top, he's just going to be fluttering around here. As we can see, throwing axes are at the ready. Only 3 units, but of course we've only got 3 of the Knights of the Blazing Sun as well. Now what you want to try and do is try and see if you can bait them in where you can, and then obviously try and get those throwing axes in. Now we do have final transmutation. We do also have Plague of Rust as well, so something to take into consideration is reducing that armor and really thumping it hard here with those Familiar Warriors. Marauders coming into the front line. Huntsmen are getting ready to fire here. Now you do have to be careful as Huntsmen certainly pack a punch. Going after these great weapons as well. Great weapons will really thump in this front line. They'll do well up against any of the knights, but of course here dealing with these flagellants could be difficult. Now we do have those rage mechanics, they can certainly come into use. You're going to be getting that increase to melee attack, leadership, and also physical resistance. Now you certainly want to get the charge here with the Marauders in the front line. Looks like here the Sigma boys are going to be getting... Look at these boys. They run for no man. Human Slayers here just absolutely thumping into the front line of these nice Norskins. So over at the top here, we are going to be charging in. So we have broken some spearmen on the left flank. The left flank certainly weaker here. It looks like we do have the Metal Sorcerer. He's going to be around just hugging it nice and tight to the Marauder Chieftain. Obviously here, don't want to be getting sniped by Karl of France. Over the right, looks like the Great Weapons trying to get around the flank. I'm not sure what sort of speed we're talking about here. So 30 speed, 36 speed, and 35 speed. So it looks like the Marauders, but they've certainly pulled open a hole here, that's for sure. Throwing axes moving. Looks like pretty damage here. We're going to be the Marauder throwing axes in the middle. Some over here on the flank as well. So we are getting in the back with the throwing axes, and here we go. They're going to be getting ready to fire here into the pocket. They need to fire, and they need to go now. They have the opportunity. We had the Norscan Warhounds as well. We want to use an Overcast Plague of Rust on these Blazing Suns and really charge in with the Norscan Warhounds. Now, they do have 71 speed, but of course 90 here for the throwing axes. So they are going to be charging to the flank here of the Marauders. In the middle, we are going to be having a bit of a fight here. Familiar Warriors going up against Karl of France. Reichland Broomfang, Plague of Rust, as well as Foseeker and Garmaraz going down there for the bonus first large. Overcasted Earthblood in the pocket here, really trying to heal up the Knights of the Blazing Sun and the man, the myth, the legend. In the middle, we do have the Sigma Suns holding for dear life here up against these Familiar Warriors and the nice great weapons. In the pocket here, we do have the Marauder Chieftain trying to fight up against Karl of France. Overcasted Final Transmutation going in the pocket, doing some fantastic damage up against that cavalry and the nice legendary Lord. Throwing axes here into the Knights. They've certainly taken a big punching here in the middle, and that's where these Norscan nice wolves here come in to clean up the crew. Beast of Tashnar will be in the back. Karl of France moving over here to the right-hand side. Great weapons in as well. So we are going to be trying to charge off the Norscan Ice Wolves. We've also broken the Norscan Hounds here on the right hand side. Now we should be able to get the Ice Wolves back. If we do, that'll be very, very good cleanup crew in the later stages. Firing whilst moving, we can see the Norscan, sorry, not the Norscan, we can see the Huntsman here for the Empire just moving and shooting at the same time. Nice shots here into the Warhounds. They do have firewalls moving. Okay, they do have firewalls moving. In the middle for Familiar, they do have 100 armor, but of course they are going to struggle with no shields. But they're going to be able to punch in the back here up against these Huntsmen and do a pretty decent job. I think the nice thing that Ducky's done here, he's completely ignored that front line. He was never going to win it. He engaged what he could. He pulled out over here what he could for the rest, and that's allowed his doggos to get in the back with his throwing axes as well. One unit of the Knights of the Blazing Sun left online. We are going to have Karl of France fighting up against the Marauder Chieftain as well. In the pocket is going to be the Shaman, who does use the Scroll of Shielding. That's 57 seconds of 20% damage resistance for about 70 gold, ladies and gentlemen. You have to remember just how powerful the Scroll of Shielding is. It is so strong. So strong. In the middle here, the Marauders are going to be chasing off the Huntsmen. Certainly don't want those shooting for too long. They'll be doing lots of damage here up against these large targets. Flagellants coming in nice and close. You do need to be careful of them. You want to move them around. Certainly want to use those throwing axes more towards the cavalry here. So we have broken some throwing axes here in the middle. So we did get some spearmen on top. Shattered here, Norscan Ice Wolves are going to be leaving the battlefield. It looks like here the Norscan Warhounds as well are in trouble. I think we've probably lost the Beast of Tashnar at this point. Looks like the Beast of Tashnar have been dealt with. Here in the middle we can see that the Knights of the Blazing Sun, 2 units, one down to 1.3k, the second 2,600. Is that an Earthblood? Overcasted Earthblood in the pocket. Where is that caster is the question. I cannot see the caster. I can't see the caster, but the caster is here somewhere. Oh my god, I cannot see the caster. Oh, there he is, there he is. So, the caster is something we definitely want to snipe. So, Reichland Runefang going down in that meter radius. I would certainly leave with the Marauder Chieftain right now. Fosika going down for him. He is going to be fighting up against Karla Franz. Garmaraz going down as well. Garmaraz will absolutely destroy the Marauder Chieftain here. You've really got to be careful. Marauder Chieftain is going to die. That is a big loss here from the Norskins. Leadership is certainly not their friend, that's for sure. Yep, so he goes down. Karla Franz healing cap is present. We are going to get another heal coming out here. Overcasted yet again. We certainly need to snipe that Jade Wizard. It looks like here it is going to be a win for Von Carstein and the Empire. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. 2,250 here for Karla Franz. 0 for the Jade Wizard, but my god, did that Jade Wizard perform. As we can see here, Spearman, 142, 106, and looks like 180 and 90 as well. So, 344, 342, and 640 here for the Vigilants, and the Unbreakable Sigma Suns at 380. We've got 860, as well as 760, and 470 for the Huntsman. And for the Knights of the Rising Sun, we got 1,266, 1,400, and 558. Very good build here from Von Carstein, like it indeed. And Ducky's build, 111 kills, 2,180 damage value for the Marauder Chieftain, 1,585 for the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. I think there, if we had managed to snipe the Jade Wizard, more than certainly would have been a win. 380, as well as 150, 84, 208, 315, and 21 for the Marauders. Great weapons are not. 480 here from the Marauder Horsemen, 900, 230 and 340 for the throwing axes, and for the doggos 240, 230 and 770 here for the beasts of Tashnar. 605, 1120 for the Famir warriors with great weapons. Excellent stuff. On his departure, see you soon, bud. GG's, and Mr. Human Boy, how are we? And for those, all of you probably do know a Rubber Duck of War. If you do not know him, please go check him out. Go on to that nice YouTube page that you all know. Type in a Rubber Duck of War. Check out the channel. Bang that subscription button. Drop a comment on the next video and say, Logic says hey. So make sure you go check him out. BRB, no problem, Mr. Captain Morgan. You do what you need to do, my friend, and then you come back when you're ready. Hello, friends. So, Mr. Von Carstein up against Mr. Human Boy. So, let's get it going. So, here, we are going to sort this out. Let's give Mr. Von Carstein a big dubski. We're going to drop Mr. Human Boy down to Niepois. And then we will go here with that. And we will go Human Boy. Lovely jubbly. Yes, sir. Lovely stuff. Yes, very unlucky. Bread for the bread god. Let's make this a full Norsca stream. I mean, it very well could be, right? If you keep winning against Norsca, it will always be Norsca. Looks like we have some support here for Human Boy in the chat. GG's, GG's indeed. Always good to see Franz do well. Yeah, Franz is, he done okay. He done okay. Of course, there he's very tied into that life caster, but at the same time, yeah, he done a job. He done a job for sure. It was a great little scrap. Yeah, it was a great little scrap. I do wonder if maybe 2 horse masters and 4 throwing axes could have been decent. But the doggos did well. The doggos did well. They are fast. They are a nuisance. That's for sure. Oh yes, the map. The map is going to be Pillar of Bone. Only Midland can stop that duck. Indeed, indeed. Only Midland can stop that duck. Indeed. Not too sure why. I'm getting a bit of hay fever at the moment. It's not really the season for hay fever, but I'm getting a bit of hay fever symptoms. Bit of a bunged up nose, bit of runny eyes. Very itchy, so I don't know. Maybe there's something special going on at the moment. But let's have a look at what we're saying here. Not enough ducks. 0 out of 10. Moldove, listen, you're gonna have to take this up with the man yourself. Like, I can report your complaints, but at the same time, you might have to have a word with the man. You might have to have a word with the man. You should get that cough checked out. Oh, 23 watching 17 likes, cough, cough. Yeah, obviously, I would appreciate that. For those that don't know, obviously, behind the likes count as interactions with the live stream. So obviously, or if you don't like it as well, feel free to dislike. I never discourage that. But of course, if you like it, as an interaction, YouTube promote this more. So if you want to support me, that's an awesome way of doing it. Of course, so I do appreciate that. Allergic to hay. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I'm allergic to everything. Come join the dark side, human boy. Play VC. No, don't do it. Oh, Greenskins. Okay. I think Wood Elves and I dare say Skaven. I'm too weak. The human boy's going to play Greenskins. Now, Greenskins have some very nice counters here. They have some very nice counters. I mean, things that really uptrade well are like goblins really uptrade well on that front line. You pop off wire at least twice in that game. Gobos will uptrade to values of like 450, 500. Comfortably uptrade to that value. You'd be surprised at what level of damage they can do. And they just soak up shots with their silver shields. You know, you just send a unit of those out, they're just not taking any damage from skirmish cavalry at all. So they can do pretty well there. They're just good shields to absorb. Like 4 or 5 units of gobos is very good. When you pop them with wire as well, keeping it nice and wide, very strong. Something you can also see here, you could certainly see some big uns, whether they be savage or not. You can certainly see some big uns. Big uns do nicely in this matchup, especially up against, like, for example, if we see like a mammoth or anything really. I think, you know, those along with some stone trolls mixing in with, say, fermented fungi from Skarsnik, or you could even see, if you really wanted to bring Grom, you could bring Grom. Grom is of course very, very powerful, but of course he is also overpowered still, in my opinion. That's why I personally don't use him. I personally don't use him because I think, unless I'm playing against someone who is like truly better than me, I don't bring him, because I just think he's just too strong. It is too cheesy in my opinion, but at the same time, he is very strong, so you have all your right to use him. Hope you noticed, Logic, I only used Uhtred. Ah, that makes more sense! Uhtred was the Marauder Chieftain! Oh, I wish you told me before. I give you a bit of jip for not using Throg, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. Uhtred, son of Uhtred, came in and lost to the Empire, or as we would like to call it, Wessex. Oh no, the Duck Lord is out. Yes, he is out. You just missed the end of the game. I think Von Carstein just tipped it out there using Carla Franz at the end. Reichle Moonfang and Garmaraz finished off the Uhtred, son of Uhtred. One of the biggest things I'd love to see is a remastered soundtrack from the 80s, 90s PC game for Warhammer 2. Warhammer Total War 2. Oh, fair enough. I'd like to see, you know, Warhammer coming with, you know, just some more music, you know, for this. All right, looks like we're going in. The Bone Zone is ready to go. Throg is boring. Uhtred is the way. This is the way, indeed. This is the way. For now, but I shall return when my people need me. Indeed. Hey, Emperor, how you doing? Foot Chieftain is meta. Indeed, indeed. You'll pay for those words. The Troll King shooters out here. Yeah, but he's not Uhtred, son of Uhtred, though, is he? That's the question. Fate is all. Oh, dear God. I absolutely love this. So we are going to have a rogue idol, of course, with the Rubble and Ruin. And, of course, the Spirit of Gork and Mork and that Terror. So we are going to not just have one. We are going to have two, including... Oh, no, it's just 2 rogue idols, is it? Oh, I thought we were going to have the big boy as well. So it's like we are going to be having 2. Just gently removing his head there and putting it back in place. Love that. Goblin archers here with some Goblin Wolf Rider archers. So we have some Goblin archers mixing with some Night Gobbos, Gobbos, Black Orc Big Boss, and of course, Azag the Slaughterer. I love it. So Black Orc Big Boss here, get back here, as well as Rabble Rouse. I would like to, oh, we just have the Brass Cleaver as well. Very nice. I like the Brass Cleaver. Azag the Slaughterer here with Spirit Leech, and Azag's Slashers coming with a melee attack and leadership. Nice buffs and bonuses there indeed. I like that very, very much. This is a play. This is a play of a real man. In the back here, let's have a look. We are going to be having some Spider Riders, the Moon Howlers, some Goblin Wolf Riders as well. Goblin Wolf Riders, Spider Riders, and Forest Goblin Spider Riders. God damn. Okay, this is a play, and I like everything about it. So, Marauder Great Weapons in the front line, mixing with some Marauder Berserkers, more Great Weapons, Marauder Berserkers, and Marauder Great Weapons. So we are going to have the double Feral Mammoth here. And in the trees, I don't know what we can quite see here. We can see the Marauder Chieftain on foot. Yes, sir, the meta has been brought. Uhtred, son of Uhtred, is now back in town. We can see here, Fight or Die with Rage. We're also going to be having a Burning Head and a Kind of Foam. Thank you very much, sir. That's very good. And Spirit Leech. So yes, looks like we have some Marauder Javos in the back pocket as well. Very good anti-large range. And in the front line, we are going to have some Norsca Warhounds, the Beasts of Tashnar. And I'm pretty sure I saw some more doggos, but looks like perhaps not. Now this is a box to fear. I love it. I absolutely love it. Good luck, have fun from both sides. Love to see that. Skirmish Cav at the front, of course, that is going to pull them forward. And then when they are out of position, we can see some of these Spider Riders certainly getting some good cycle charging in for the back. Beast of Tashnar will pretty much single-handedly delete all of these units. But at the same time, you know, they'll certainly take some damage, back. Getting rid of these bad boys. So I'm going to get ready for these bad boys to do some great work here in the middle. So I'm going to try and skirmish as much as we can here with the Goblin Wolf Riders in the front. We're going to be shooting here into the Norsca Warhounds. But at the back here, we can see that we are going to be moving in. Oh dear. So we have a Ferromanticore here in the middle as well. I actually missed the Ferromanticore, but Ferromanticore is going to be chewing up a few units. The Moon Howler's doing some, well, they're going to be dying there in the middle. So the Ferromanticore is going to be chasing. Skirmish Cavalry is going to be running away. The force is a bit split up here, actually, I must admit. Spider Riders could move. Certainly don't want to be cycle charging here up against great weapons, but if they can hit the front line, they can certainly do some good work. We do have Burning Head though, so this pocket is going to be a little bit in danger. So we just have to be careful of that Burning Head. Fighting on the front line, Spider Riders and the Forest Goblin Wolf Riders. They're going to be shooting here into the Berserkers, and that's the perfect place for them to shoot. That's a nice expensive unit. They can certainly get some great value in return from. They're only going to be having 15 armor, no shields. Of course, these dual axe-wielding menaces are not going to be carrying too many shields. I love the way they run. I love the way they run. They come here to invade the land of the Gobbos. Is that the Icehorn Marauders as well? Oh, absolute G. Icehorn Marauders in the middle. Honestly, Icehorn Marauders, like with a small update, where they just got maybe a little bit of added armor or something. You know, maybe something that's a little bit of a change. You know, because otherwise it's just like, they're just a reskinned Marauder unit with perfect vigor is pretty much all they've got. Foot Chieftain, though, is something we all need to be happy about. Honestly, it is double Javos. Where is Uhtred? Nope, he's not there. There he is, right at the front. Leaving the men by example. Now, for some reason, I thought the normal rogue idols could throw rocks, but it's like they can't. Very interesting. I actually used to cycle charging with the spiders in the front. What sort of charge bonus? 22. Nah, it's not great, but it's not bad either. Azag's in the front line. He's going to be leading. Some nice shots coming in the back here. Doggo's coming in. We should be able to charge here using the rest of the cavalry. Yeah, and they're going to run. Rightly so. They want nothing to do with that. Norsca Warhound's going to be running. And now they're going to be recharging here. Beast of Tashnar coming in as well. Now I'm going to be getting shot here in the pocket from those Gobbos. And that's certainly them grouped there. Now they're going to run in. They're going to be a little bit... Micro's a little bit all over the place here. We are moving in with Von Carstein. Can we catch? Looks like we're not going to catch, but they're certainly going to take some damage. Burning Head in the middle. Looks like we did miss there. Burning Head actually might catch the Doggos. Looks like we catch a few of the doggos there. A little bit of damage actually onto his own dogs. I absolutely love it. The Rogue Idol in the middle is going to be body slamming up against the Ice Hall Marauders, doing some great work here in the middle. Pharaoh Mammoth is over on the right. It's going to be very difficult to try and catch a lot of this cavalry. Here in the pocket, though, we are going to be fighting in the front line. We do actually have anti-infantry armor piercing for the Mammoths, but the armor piercing could help here. But 150 armor for the Rogue Idol is certainly a lot to deal with. Big slams here in the front. As you can see, Pharaoh Mammoth coming in for the charge. So only two of the Pharaoh Mammoths taking on one at a time rather than one each, because they will lose here. You have 600 armor-piercing weapon strength for the Rogue Idol. He's certainly going to punch apart this Mammoth pretty comfortably. As you can see here, the wire going down. You can see the Fanatics really ripping apart the front line. Uhtred is going to be going down here. Not quite the combatant he is in previous. Burning Head in the front, though, should be cleaving out these nice gobos. There we go. Those gobos are going to go down. Negative 80 leadership. Fear coming in, and that tearing here from the Pharaoh Manticore. That is actually going to shatter the Goblin Archers. Most of the front line here has gone down. Those gobos, those spears, going to be holding for as long as possible. Looks like here the Beasts of Tashnar are going to be flying in, trying to see if they can do any damage here up against the Rogue Idol. Rogue Idol up to 750 weapon strength here. 94 melee attack. He is about to dumpster the Pharaoh Mammoth. I love the Pharaoh Mammoth pick, though, I must admit. A very, very fun unit to bring. Big slam there. Double fish straight through the skull of the Pharaoh Mammoth there in the front line. The second one's going to be in the back, fighting up against the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Those nice Marauder great weapons going to be thumping in that back line as well. Pharaoh Manticore moving in to do some good damage. But in the front here, we can see that we have lost the caster, the Shaman Sorcerer of Death. But the one of fire here is still going pretty strong. Now, Spirit Leech could be used here on the Rogue Idols. They do not have any magic resistance. Of course, they do have missile resistance, but magic could certainly be a good way to take these bad boys down. Great weapon Marauders here going to be fighting up against the Goblin Wolfriders, but of course, both of them shooting here into the back of the Marauder Berserkers. More Berserkers here fighting the front line up against those Gobos. So they are going to be rampaging here. Poison is prevalent for the Night Goblins. But here, Balance of Power is going to be in the favour of the Greenskins. I really don't know if they have much, if anything at all, to take out the double Rogue Idols. We are going to be in attack bonuses here from Azag the Slaughterer. He'll be given that plus 10 melee attack and plus 10 as well here from the Black Hawk Big Boss. 80 melee attack is just scary. 80 melee attack for 600 weapon strength is absurd. We are moving to the front. 31 speed apparently for the Rogue Idol. I didn't know they were that quick, but they are going to be moving forward. Double great weapon Marauders could actually do a bit of a thumping here, I think. Down to 120 armor. He's going to be hitting the first stage of Rubble. Rubble and Ruin here will give him increased armor-piercing weapon strength, but of course we'll be losing that armor over time. On that third time, you can see 120 armor-piercing weapon strength, but he does lose 90 armor. So obviously the more damage you do here, the weaker they become, but the harder they thump back. So something you do have to take into consideration. Marauders moving in, trying to see if they can pin. Big slam there on the front line. Uhtred is coming back to try and see if he can slay the big beastie himself. Looks like he's just going to lead for the front rather than fight from the front. Great weapons in. They should be able to do some relatively okay armor piercing here. Get back here, going to get that plus 16 leadership. Looks like here the Pharaoh Mammoth is going to be getting hit by the double Rogue Idol. Great weapons in, trying to see what they can do. It looks like, have we gone to tier 2 yet? It doesn't look like we've gone to tier 2 yet. I believe it's every 33%. Javelin still firing. Do struggle with that armor piercing, but the bonus for large is still very strong. I believe it's about 35. No, just 15. Okay, I thought it was much more than that. But never mind, just 15 there. Pharaoh Mammoth is going to be charging in up against Azag the Slaughterer. A very nice target for himself. He can certainly snipe out the leader here for sure. Of course, the Black Hawk Big Boss will be at aid as well. He does need to turn a burn here on top of the Pharaoh Manticore. Looks like oh yeah, big punch there coming from the Rogue Idol. Black Hawk's going to be moving in, so it's a Shaman Sorcerer of Death. That's a bit risky. You certainly want those Spirit Leeches where you can. One Rogue Idol is going to be going down. Balance of Power is hugely favouring, and that is going to be army losses. I think if we had taken it down, we certainly could have been back in. But of course, they're very, very strong plays. Got to leave now. Good luck to the players. No worries, buddy. Thank you very much for hanging out. I'm determined to win with a Foot Chieftain. You got to, man. You got to. Full of people. Ooh. Double big un, my hero. I know, right? I know. What an absolute play. This is something you would not expect. 1.5k here for the Rogue Idol. 940 as well for the second. 380, 480 for the Goblin Wolfrider Archers. 260, 470, 550, and 320 for the Spider Riders. 200 and 490 for the Goblin Wolfriders. With 150 for the Goblin Archers. 940 for the 8-peat Loonies. With 288... 280 and 430 for the Goblins. So as you can see there, 430 for the Goblins. They can really, really uptrade. Moldova, I can always postpone you to a little bit later if you like, if you don't want to be taken off the list. 850 for the Black Orcs and 1,140 for Azek the Slaughterer. Yeah, Moldova, if you want to come back in a little bit later in the stream, you'd be welcome to as tell. I'll keep pushing you back until you come back on live stream and tell me I'm ready to go. If you want, it's up to you. Yeah, great builds from both. So, Foot Chieftain, 57 damage value. That's such a shame. 114 here for the Shaman Sorcerer of Death. 530 for the Fire. And 150, 200. With 300, 400, and 300 here for the Great Weapons. Icehaul Marauders, 133. 136 kills, 400 damage value for the Marauder Berserkers, with 390 for the second. 420 and 630 here for those Javos, with 47 here for the Norscan Warhounds. 36 as well for the Beast of Tashnar, with 950 for the Ferromanticore, 855 and 1050 here as well. Very interesting. Didn't think the Ferromammoths did that much, but apparently they did. Alright, so the Norskins still in this. You must keep the legacy of the chieftain alive. Yes, indeed. So we are going to be having Stormrunner as our next. Let's update that scoreboard then. So Dubsky there for Mr. Human Boy. Well played to Von Cast9. Shame to see him go down, but of course it keeps the Norskins alive. We are going to have Stormrunner. I think I'm just going to call you DVD Storm. I cannot be bothered to change that. There we go. Nice. Sweet. So, it's very strong. I think they struggle against Dark Elves. Skaven it is then from Mr. Stormrunner. The next map will be... Let's go with Karek Asgal. You can try, but I will make no promises that I will return. No problem, dude. If you don't return, then I will just assume you can't play. So just jump in or send me a DM on Discord when you're ready, or if you're ready. Yeah. Human Boy, yes, must keep the legacy. Indeed, he must. If Greenskins win, we get more Norsca, so go Greenskins. Indeed, indeed. Must keep Uhtred alive. Uhtred of Beddenburg. Hello, Law of Burning Head. Indeed, it's just that's what fire magic is. It's just Law of Burning Head. Only way he could have memed more was to bring Grimgor. This is true, Aldemo. This is true. Although actually, I think Grimgor is actually like not terrible in that matchup. He's not terrible. He's not great either, but he's not terrible. Yeah, he does have certain places. If we gave Throg a Frostworm mount, we could talk. I would love that. I would love it. I would love it. I'd love it. I thought you might like that build, Mr. Swiss Pikeman. I thought you might like that build indeed. That's certainly down your alley, Artisan. You certainly love the build of memes, you do. Mr. Falcon, how are we doing? Looks like he's back on the Warhammer 2. I think I've been seeing him using the new beta, which is quite fun. I like to see him in and playing again, as we all do. We all like to see him playing and having fun.
Karik Asgal is the map. He doesn't even ride the Frostworm. It walks beside him. No, the Frostworm rides Throg, 100%. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him on a Feral Mammoth, to be fair. That would be pretty cool. Imagine that. You could be like a gunnery riot with his vomit, right? Where he could use his ability while he's in melee combat, where he could just vomit all over everything. He's got it on a leash though, or something like that, Jeremy. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? All right. This question's going out to the people. We've had too much on this conversation. What else could we do? All right, there we go. There we go. The question has been asked of the people, and we should see what people want. Throg and a Mammoth would look just about right. I agree. On a Frostworm would be ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Alright, looks like Human Boy is ready. Storm as well. And of course, Human Boy, a very good Skaven player. So, it's more than likely knows what to expect. But of course, Storm Runner is a meme and a legend. He brings in builds that I've never seen before and really makes them work. So, as far as predicting what Storm's going to do, I don't think anybody... I don't even know if Storm Runner knows what he's doing sometimes. He just knows he does it, and it works. So, would you look at this? We are going to be having 1 Ferromanticore, 2 Ferromanticores in the sky. We're also going to be having a Feral Mammoth. Right here, 2 units of the Norsca Warhounds in the back. The double Ice Wolf Chariot, some of the biggest memes in the game. These things are terrible. But at the same time, I love to see them. I absolutely love to see them. Fire Magic with a Marauder Chieftain on foot. Keeping... Oh, no, he's going to be on horseback. Uhtred now rides on a horse. I like it. Famir Belfiend of Fire here with the Law of Burning Head. And also Fireball. Arcane Conduit and Kindle Flame to be his kit. Alongside... yeah, so it looks like we are going to be having the Brutes of the Hound. Love these Brutes. As you can see, like, the axes are cool, but, like, there's nothing, like, special about the Brutes of the Hound. They look cool. They look like what they should look like. But, like, I kind of want something a little bit different, something a little bit more ridiculous, maybe, even. Just to be like, oh, they're so cool, or something like that. I mean, they are cool, but I want something that's just, like, just way over the top. Mr. Blackthorn, how are we, sir? How are we? So, Marauders in the front line. Let's skip through this. As you can see, let's go to the regular ones, right? The regular ones here. Like, they just look no different. These obviously got dual axes, and these obviously have, like, flaming axes, but it's not much different, really. But, yeah, Marauders in the front line, more Berserkers, and here we can see Wolf Rats with Poison on one flank. In the front line, we are going to have some Skaven Slaves, mixing it in with Stormburn. Ooh, triple gold chevroned Storm Vermin Halberds. Make those 2 units. In the front here, we are going to have some Warp Grinders with the Warp Quake and the Seismic Snare. We are going to be having Ikit Claw on a Doom Wheel with the unlimited power, as well as the Brass Orb, the Flensing Ruin, Death Frenzy, Warp Lightning, and Musk of Fear. Mr. Void Lols, how are we? Hopefully you enjoyed yourself on the channel the other day. Rat Ogres in the back, mixing in with the Council Guard Storm Vermin, these bad boys as well. Do like them, as well as like to see a little bit of a change on their makeup. I actually think I prefer the regulars. I like their red. I like their crimson red a little bit more compared to the ones in the back. These ones a little bit more with the little bit more of the black fur. I think I like to see them with capes or something cool. But yeah, more Rat Ogres in the back, and I think we're probably going to expect some more. Yes, more Vanguard here from the Wolf Rats Poison. Now, the nice thing here about the chariots, if we can find some, there we go. The chariots do actually have the ability, it's only melee combat, but they do actually have frostbite. Now, what I'd like to see is frostbite coming from the arrows as well. I'd like to see some level of frostbite from them shooting as well. I think that would make them much better. I think that would make them certainly more viable in selection. But how are we doing, Mr. Blackthorn? How are we doing, Mr. Legend? I hope you're doing well. Give Nakai Dreadosaurium out instead. I love that all the same. Looks like you guys are favouring the Frostworm mount. Very interesting. Shots coming in the frontier from Icket Claw. Of course, 237 armor piercing missile strength. 50 ammunition as well. And I mean, I think it is a bit random. I'm not too sure, but it is a bit random. Yeah, I'm just pushing forward here gently. Nice cycle there in the front from the Ice Wolves. The Ice Wolf chariots, of course, when they bite in, they're going to be getting that slow there in the front line for the Skaven slaves, down to 38 speed. Iket's going to be doing his best here, shooting the Marauders in the backside. Coming forward with the Ferromanticores, though. Oh, I didn't actually see we have Gorich as well. God damn, Gorich as well in the front line. He will be having the Evisceration, Warp Frenzy, Crown of Command, and the Blood Shield for that magic resistance. Looks like here the Ferromantic is going to be fighting in the front line, trying to see if we can smash it and give it here to Icket Claw. Really bringing it to him. Rear charge from the Ferromanticore up against Gorich. Gorich will turn and burn 573 armor-piercing weapon strength. He's going to be slapping the cheeks of that Ferromanticore. He's not enjoying it. Warpquake going down as well, doing damage here, giving that negative speed, and Seismic Snare as well. Flensing Ruin giving that negative armor. Very strong here in the middle. That Ferromanticore down to 15 armor. Certainly going to slap here in the middle. He's going to be almost wavering, certainly, but almost instantly breaking. In comes Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Going to come here with Fight or Die. The Warquake is going to slow him down and net him in, but he's going to come and try and fight here in this middle pocket.
Retreat! Surrender!
Retreat! So the Brass Orb here on the left-hand side going to be just destroying a unit of Marauder Berserkers. I really like the Brass Orb. I think it's a fantastic ability. One of my favourite there for the Skaven campaigns. On the side here, Skaven slaves will be returning immediately after running away. One of the Ferromanticores is going to be breaking. The other Ferromanticore is going to be rampaging here in the pocket, chasing after Icket Claw. Icket Claw is weak in the middle. That Doom Wheel is going to be struggling here slightly. The Marauder Ice Wall chariots here in the pocket going to be cycling still, but they are going to get hit by the Cancer Guard Storm Vermin. Shots coming out of Icket Claw, the Crown of Command going down. Unlimited power as well to try and see if we can get some more Winter Magic. Ferromanticore is going to be charging in with those Ice Wolf chariots as well. Icket Claw is getting absolutely abused here in this middle pocket, and balance of power here is pulling into Human Boy's favour. Burning Head in the frontier on top of the Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin are going to get destroyed here in the middle. We're trying to see if we get Gorich in as well with that Evisceration. Going down is the Doom Wheel. No! Icket Claw has dropped here. Uhtred, son of Uhtred, fighting in the middle up against Gorich. Gorich is wavering as well. Losing him will be huge. He is going to be breaking here. It's going to be negative 16 leadership there, faction-wide for those Skaven. Storm Vermin Howards here fighting up against Marauder Berserkers. Not their best location to be fighting, I must admit. And that is going to be pull-out here and a loss from the big Mr. Stormrunner. Very unlucky there. 1,500 for Icket Claw. 1,200 here for Gorich. 440, 290, 460 here for the Storm Vermin. 130 and 4 here from the Wolf Rat Poison. 477, 330 here for the Rat Ogres. And 240 for the Warp Grinders. Nothing really in the front line too much. But here for Uhtred, 474. With 850 here for the Famir Belfiend. With 140, 190, 160 for the Marauders, with 1,170, 1,084, 480, and for the Brutes of the Hound, 360. 280 for the Ice Wolf Chariots, and 116 for the second. They literally don't do anything. And it looks like here 140, 660 for the Norsca Warhounds, with 340, and 1,064 here for the Ferals, with 1,300 for the Mammoth. And so do they fall. The Norskins will go down. We will salute them. We will say goodbye. But hopefully they return. So Human Boy is here, I believe. We'll have a look here. The next was to be Mr. Maldev, but we will come back to him. Mr. Undead, you are in. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the party. Let's try and see here if we can find the man, the myth, the legend. One of the shortbeards here. Here he is. So what we'll do, we'll pop up a little thing here as Human Boy is in. We'll have a look at Human Boy's book. Now, this is a great book written by Human Boy himself. Now, he wrote it some time ago here. That was just Mantis being OP again. Yeah, Manticores are very strong. I can't deny it. Manticores are very strong. I mean, Gorich did slap one of them up, to be fair. He did slap one of them up pretty nicely. But, you know, you played well. So for those that obviously know Human Boy, you like him and he's an awesome guy. If you want to support him a little bit, Valhalla Forever is a book that he wrote. Being, of course, we're just going to be finishing with the Norskins here, it's inappropriate. But here, obviously, if you like magical babies, big fights, demons, adventures, and dragons, then this could be the book for you. So maybe think about going on that here if you'd like to support him. We will pop through, though, to the scoreboard, and we will get a couple of changes in. So let's get that score here up to 2 for Mr. Human Boy. I just got a copy of his book the other day. Fantastic, Jeremy. You have to let me know what you think. Human Boy, yes, is playing hard so he can play Skaven next. Yes, indeed, indeed. Alright, Warriors of Chaos and Wood Elves ban. Tomb Kings, indeed. Tomb Kings, I think, can do well here. I think they can do very well here. Tomb Kings, indeed, can do well. EC Humor, thank you very much for the subscription an hour ago. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. And of course, guys, for all of you here that are here today, if you are enjoying any of the content that you see, please feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It really does help grow the channel here more than you know. And your subscription, you might think, but it's just one subscription. It doesn't really mean much. It means a huge amount to me. My challenge is to try and get... I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before Warhammer 3, so I can become a partner of YouTube, and then I can also become a partner of CA and give you guys all that early access and all of the great stuff coming forward, and I'll keep giving you that content every single day. That'll be Warhammer 3 related, Warhammer 2 related, all of the updated stuff you'll have every single day. Now it's videos, streams, tournaments, leagues, you name it, it will come forward. I do a lot of work behind the scenes trying to work on the Shortbeard League. For those that don't know, it's for all brand new players here in the community. You want to come in and play some Warhammer up against other brand new players. That's a guaranteed way for getting yourself in. So yesterday we had Phoenix from LS. She's a lovely lady. She came in and said she wants to play some more Warhammer, Total Warhammer 2. So she came and played some games against me yesterday in the chat in the VC. So we had some games, played a best of 3, her and I, and she's going to be joining in the next league. So if any of you guys would like to play as well, maybe alongside her and some others, please feel free to join and come let yourself be known. You'll play against myself or one of the mods, and then we'll get you in. Season 2 has just finished. I'll be releasing the stats very, very shortly. Very interesting stats indeed. So I should be able to help you guys as newer players see what happens against other new players, so you can help sort of start building. I'll also be releasing a video soon as well, so I'll give you guys a bit of a head up on that. But I'll actually be releasing a video as to using my stats, using my knowledge, using my understanding, and some discussions I've had with Ducky, Human Boy, and others as well, about what are the best factions to start as a new player, and how can you get yourself into the scene, continue getting that experience, and playing to a higher level. Alright, so let's move in, let's move up, and let's move on. Human Boy up against Mr. Undead. Let's get his name in. Alrighty then. Subscribe, thank you, Mr. Ducky, for leading me to the channel. Hey, Reed Walsh. Thank you very much for the subscription, friend. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so if you don't know Reed, Ducky's actually my housemate. we've been friends for, I want to say about 23 years, something like that. Yeah, we've been friends for a very long time. pretty much the entirety of my life, actually, when I think about it. Alrighty, so for the Skaven, we are going to be seeing some Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep. Rat Ogres too, indeed. Of course, Human Boy here, a big fan of the Rat Ogres and so I think they're very crucial here to the mixture of the Skaven. Poison Wind Globes in the front here, good armor piercing, and of course that damage poison over time. We did actually see a unit here in the front, which is going to be the Warp Grinders. Very strong indeed. They have that Warp Quake, which does damage and slow over time, and that Seismics there for nets and a 40-meter radius. Very good indeed. We are going to be having the Poison Winds here just dotted around the side, so I like that a lot. And in the back, we are going to be having some Clan Rat Spears mixing in with some Skaven Spears as well. Skaven Slaves in the front, and the Plague Priest on a bell. Now, I generally do prefer... Grace here on a bell, but a bell nonetheless here is pretty good for the Plague Priest. I think it probably makes him a little bit too expensive, but Scarring Stone, looks like Pestilence Birth for the Plague Month Summon, Vermintide, Pestilence Breath for the nice tier spell, and looks like here the Billowing Death, which is damage over time, and Frenzy. Does give him 90 armor, but does make him a huge target as well. We are going to be seeing the Assassin here with the Concealment Bombs, Assassin's Trophy, and Rival High Talisman, one of the most cost-efficient heroes here in the game that you can get, and Throt the Unclean. You will be having the Beast Pack there for the Summon, Creature Killer, as well as Remolded, Master Controller, and that Frenzy and Regeneration. Here on this mount, he'll also be having 95 speed, which makes him extremely mobile here. So, for the boys here, the Tomb Kings, Skeleton Horse Archers in the front, 76 speed, 140 range there for the Skirmish, can be very, very strong. Here in the front line, we are going to have those Skelly Warriors mixing in alongside the Nekaharas. So, the Nekahara Warriors are... not often used. They are anti-infantry, but they don't have any bonuses versus infantry as far as I'm aware. They do not. But still, can be utilised. We are going to be seeing the Ushopti Great Bows. They will certainly uptrade here. I'm surprised to see them, because normally Warlock Giselles, I think, would comfortably outtrade them. But here, of course, we can see the cannon in the back. We should have it here. We are going to have the Ickets Zip Zip cannons. The reason they're normally brought over the regulars is, of course, their accuracy is going to be much greater. We are having Citra the Imperishable in the front here with the Wrath of Batra, the Incantation of Desiccation, the Incantation of the Righteous Smithing, Incantation of Protection, Incantation of the Cursed Blades with Unyielding Will, and the Restless Dead. As well in the back here, we are going to have a Tomb Prince. It looks like here he is going to be having a few items. Looks like Guardian, Tomb Strike, and the Blade of Scepter, or Sept. Toon Scorpion as well here for the anti-infantry, good armor piercing, good armor as well, pretty decent melee defense, 38, 40 melee attack. Very good melee combatant overall, very nice single entity monster, and its attack animations are so janky and irritating. Got to be careful here, those Skeleton Horse Archers have got to shoot and then duck out and duck in again. You don't really want to be shooting this close to the front line. Look at the damage output here up against those Horse Archers. What you really want to be doing is getting the Horse Archers around the back, trying to see if you can shoot here into the Rat Ogres, lightly armoured. You remove those big bully boys, they'll certainly do a good punching up against Citra. If you get around the back and start dealing with those, that is the perfect way to go. We're going to be shooting front line of Skaven Slaves. I'd like to see the Horse Archers shooting here up against the Poison Wind Globes. Globes are going to be firing to the front line here up against the Skeleton Warriors. What they want to do is they want to dip, shoot one, shoot the next, shoot the next, shoot the next, and then return again and keep doing that. That damage will be over time. Then you can continuously keep damage here on the front line and keep it going down nice and low. Shots in the front here going to be hitting up against the Ushopti Great Bow. They are moving into range. Looks like they're going to be going downtown and shooting up against Throt the Unclean. Now, big shots coming out here. Nice damage early doors. He does have regeneration. I'd probably prefer to see them shooting the Zip Zip cannons. Take on that crew, they've then got no competition. The only thing that could shut them down here is the Rat Ogres. I think here, shooting the Skaven Slave Master himself is probably not so great. Citra's going to be bounding and pounding here in the middle up against the Skaven Slave Spears. Rat Ogre's moving in as well. They'll certainly bully the big boy himself. As well, the Tomb Prince is coming in. Throt the Unclean for the arm piercing and poison. Warquake going down, giving that slow and damage over time. Love the area of effectability. I love that circle. Over here on the right, we can see some Skeleton Spears. Really trying to get around the flanks, trying to see if they can shut down some of these Poison Winds. In the front line, a little bit slow. Nekaharas needs to start pushing through and shutting down. Those Poison Wind Globes are going to be doing some very, very nice work. Shots still going up against the Ushopti Great Bows at the moment. They are going to be shooting into the pockets. It looks like here they are going to be oh, Blade of Scepter going down. Negative armor, negative physical resistance. But as you can see here in the pocket, we are going to be shooting the Ushopti, but I certainly think they need to take out the Warlock and cannons. So there's going to be an area of effect. Rifle High Talisman going down, negative 40 melee attack. This is where you probably want to dip a little bit. You don't really want to be involved for too long. It's a very strong ability here, Rifle High Talisman. Looks like we are going to be hitting the Realm of Souls Tier 2, coming in with the 224 healing. Should be 336 soon with that Yashafti summon from the Souls of Yashafti. Get that in, we can probably put that there on the back line, try and see if we can summon it on the Zip Cannon, take that out pretty quickly. That would be my tip. Tidbit here in the back as well, we are going to be shooting Skeleton Horse Archers into the Skaven Slave Spears. That is something you do not want to be shooting. Shooting cheap chaff with Skeleton Horse Archers is not worth your time. They need to be firing in here up against the lightly armoured Rat Ogres, because they are just punishing the living daylight out of Tzeentch the Imperishable. Assassin's Trophy going on him, Seismic Snare as well. Incantation of Protection to protect him. I don't know if it's going to be enough. You are going to be having Rat Ogres here, nothing really to combat them either. Looks like the Tomb Scorpion is going to be moving away. Bands of Power is going to be in Human Boy's favour. Shots are now piling into the Rat Ogres. They have been terrified, which is interesting. Warp Grinders, 96 armor piercing weapon strength, can certainly move in and cause some good damage up against the Tomb Scorpion. Warp Quake going down again. I love the ability when they grab those grinders to just slam them in the floor there. I love to see it just coming out here. Running away, looks like the Clan Rat Spears have had enough in the front line. Nice, Yashafti are going to be in the back. They have been summoned on top of the Zip Cannons. So some nice work there in the middle. Going to be carving apart the nice crew. The crew have run away, 41 models still online. Now they're going to be carving apart here. They need to push forward, and they need to get on and do that dirty work. One unit of Yashafti Great Bows in the back. Really good luck, have fun. Love to see that as well. Tzeentch the Imperishable needs to keep casting here. He needs to cast as much as possible. Try and see if we can get that healing in. Every cast he does, that's 56 health he's going to get for himself. So full cast later, you're looking at, you know, about 220 health worth of healing. Someone here in the back is really going to be struggling, so they are going to charge straight into the nice... there we go. They fall, but unfortunately the Zip Cannon crew is going to get back here and online. They still have 8 ammunition. That should be enough there to do some good damage up against the Yashafti. We have Broken Throt the Unclean. Creature Killer going down. Now use the Skeleton Horse Archers to chase him off, hopefully. He's going to be faster, 105 speed here. He does come back. Skeleton Horse Archers are going to move in. He breaks again immediately. Lovely work there. Good recognition from the man himself. He's broken, but nope, he is going to be going away. Bands of Power comes away from the Tomb Kings, and that is going to be GG's. Well played. Rasta, how you doing? How are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Human Boy led me to the dark side. Etc. They're not quite imperishable. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for asking, Rasta. How are you? Hope you're doing well. So let's have a look here. We are going to be having Cetra at 588. A little bit more support there from the Skirmish Cavalry would have been better, but still very well played. 470 here for the Tomb Prince. 45 as well as 65, 100 here for the Skeleton Warriors, 99 and 145 there for the last unit. 71, 402 and 262 here for the Skeleton Spearmen. The Nikahara Warriors coming in at 48. Skirmish getting 178, 108 and 530. This would have been the one shooting in here up against the... They certainly should have shot up against the Pit Fighters. Only 30 armor, very susceptible to skirmish. And that is one of their biggest problems. That is one of their biggest problems. Tomb Scorpion, 450 here, with 409 and 2,200 from the Yashafti Great Bows. So yeah, very nice work from the Yashafti. That's fine if you're shooting Throt, but you also need to support Cetra. Here as well, looks like we've got 1,019 from the Zip Cannons, 1,004, 270 and 520 here for the Rat Ogres. In the front line, 850 and 1,078 here for the Poison Wing Globes. 380 here for the Warp Grinders. 45 and 28 from the Clan Rat Spears. And from the Skaven Spears, we've got 26, 17, 38, 40 and 117 with 21, 62 and 27 for the Skaven Slaves. 772 here for the Plague Priest, with 60 for the Assassin, and 1.3k here for Throt the Unclean. Life is good. All good, brother. Got a beer and some Warhammer. That's all you need, my friend. That is all you need. GG, I don't think trying to shoot out Skaven, trying to outshoot Skaven is a good idea. Certainly could have worked there. Certainly could have worked. but sadly here today it didn't. If you are watching, Jeremy, I can't remember if Undead is Jeremy, but if that is, go back and watch, have a look at some of the suggestions that I recommended. But I think that game was winnable for you there. I think it certainly was winnable. I think if you got your skirmish cavalry onto his rat ogres, I think you could have won, for sure. Because I think targeting Throt and breaking him as well and pushing him off with the cavalry was actually a really great idea. I just think the biggest issues were your rat ogres. They just bullied. They bullied so hard. I think combined they did about 1.8k damage on Cetra alone. So just some considerations. So, VC Wood Elf bands as the Tomb Kings. So Human Boy will be going into a big lead here. Going to go 3-0 up. Oh, Mr. Daxter is joining. Yes, sir, you are in. Doctor. Doctor is in. Lovely jubbly. So, let's get changes here. That's as long as Human Boy keeps winning, I'll keep throwing up his work. So Undead is now going to go to Nevermore. Nevermore, a really fun Lizardman player for sure. Do enjoy watching him play. Human Boy here will be going to 3 wins in a row, leaving those Norscans behind. Alright, so VC, what else? Ban Dark Elves. Oh, sorry, play Dark Elves. Okay, so Dark Elves up against Tomb Kings. I actually think this is a tough matchup for the Dark Elves. I generally do. I generally do. Tomb Kings have a lot of answers here that you do not have as... Like, I don't know what they have as answers to Ushopti Greybows. If you go artillery, they lose to Ushopti. Ushopti absolutely decimate them. Wood Elves are strong against Tomb Kings, I think. I'm very surprised we didn't see a Tomb King. We didn't see a Warriors of Chaos, or we didn't see a Dowie pick here. Both of those would have been very strong, but Nevermore has gone with Dark Elves, and I think it still favours... I think Wood Elves is a weird band. Vampire Counts makes sense, but also you still got Vampire Coast that can do well. Is there more room for this, or all closed logic? Nope, it is always open, my friend. I am not undead. I'm a living person with bad internet. That means I do not play multiplayer. Oh, fair enough, Jeremy. Fair enough. The problem I've got here is quite a few people will have, like, say, one of them will have a name on my Discord, one of them will have a name in game, one of them will have a different name on YouTube, and then one of them will have a different name on Challenge as well. And, like, for me, trying to keep up with, like, I've got, what, 350 people in my Discord? I've got to remember every single person, remember all of their names, who they are, what they do, and where they came from. Why not go Dwarfs or Warriors of Chaos? I mean, Nevermore probably doesn't play them. So Nevermore is another Shortbeard player. Nevermore, really nice guy, plays a lot, really, really fun dude, plays on the Discord every single day. So for you guys that maybe don't hang out on my Discord too much, what I try to do is sort of later in the evenings here in the UK, so it's sort of somewhere between sort of 11 and 1 in the morning, I generally do some private hosting where I do some, like, we do some commanders, we do some 1v1s, 2v2s, we just have a bit of a laugh in the evening. So he's one of the guys that regularly joins and has a good laugh. Human Boy always bans Wood Elves pretty much, no matter what he plays. Yeah, I think also, like, being a Skaven main, Wood Elves is always going to be a key ban for you. Like, he's just not going to enjoy playing against Wood Elves, period. Like, for me, I actually play more Dark Elves than I used to, but I never used to like playing against Dark Elves. I think Dark Elves as a faction is pretty simple to learn, but at the top level it's very difficult to master. I could certainly say that. But yes, Ruster, if you'd like to join up, this is live. We're not doing beta at the moment. The reason we're not doing beta is the fact that for those that would want to join and don't know how to do beta, or I just don't want to confuse it too much. I want to make it simple, accessible for everybody, rather than just going, oh, you have to do this to join, etc. And, you know, for example, there could be problems with the beta. For example, there could be a couple of flaws in it, or there could be, for example, people could have struggle downloading it, whatever, etc. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So just to make it easy, it's best to say no, I think. But I think if the Warhammer team do want to go live with the beta access and as the main live element, then of course I will be more than comfortable with using that. I think both are very good. I think both are very good. I think the updates that have come forward here for Warhammer, I think the current state of the game is the best we've seen in maybe a year. I'm very happy. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. It's very competitive. Cavalry, little small cavalry fixes here and there could also be licensed as long as it doesn't throw anything out of too much unbalance. But I've heard the cavalry is a nice tiny little buff, and I think some of the animations between cavalry and infantry can be interesting sometimes. But I still heard that it's enjoyable, it's fun, and a lot of people are liking it at the moment, which is all positive news. All positive news here. So yes, Ruster, if you would like to join the if you'd like to join the Discord, you can sign up with your name on the general, and then I'll get you signed up to the tournament. Yeah. So if you put yourself in there, I'll get you signed up, my friend. All right, so Humor Boy 3-0 at the moment, 3 wins in a row, claiming 3 heads. Oh no, we've gone to the same map, but that's okay. We'll play the same map. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Alright, for the Toomey boys. Let's get in. Oh, we are going to have a Hero Titan. Yes. So, a Casket of Souls here in the back. Casket of Souls here with the Covenant of Power. Yeah, look at that armor piercing. 960 missile strength there. 440 range with that magic damage as well. We are going to have the Shopty Great Bows for that support. And the Hero Titan. The double Shem's Burning Gaze. And oh, maybe it's only 1 Spirit Leech? I thought you got more. I thought you got 3 Spirit Leeches. But you also get Spirit Conduit, which gives more mana as well. So double more mana. And looks like a Necrotect as well over here. So Necrotect for the Restore. Vambraces Under the Sun. And it looks like Arc in the Black. So Arc in the Black here with the Tomb Blade of Arcan. Looks like we have the Staff of Nagash. The Liber Mortis. Doom and Darkness. Spirit Leech. And my will be done. So Spirit Leech will be very strong there for the extra mana. You just keep spamming that Spirit Leech. Keep your abilities going here for the Hero Titan and the Casket of Souls. Skeleton Warriors here dotted around the pocket. So we have some Skeleton Spears as well. So we have some Archers in the middle. It's just going to be a huge skeleton box. Necrotect, Restore. I don't really understand the Vambraces. Maybe it's the fact that what sort of, I think it's 200 meters of range on this. 250. It does do fire damage, but Vambrace is perhaps just going to be used for the -10 to melee attack. That would seem to be the way forward. Okay, so for the front line of the Dark Elves, we are going to be having 2 Dark Rider shields, mixing in here with the War Hydra. Regeneration, the flaming attacks as well. Those fiery breaths, very strong. Another takes its place for the healing, as well as that regeneration, terror, and here, of course, the armor piercing. Those Dread Spears here, the Angry Spearmen in the front, mixing in with the Black Ark Corsairs and the armor and anti-infantry. The Dread Spears mixing in with the double Dark Riders on the left. In the front here, we are going to have the magic, which is the Burning Head, Fireball, and Kindle Flame. In the sky here, looks like more than likely Marathi on a Dark Pegasus with the Wand, Soul Stealer, Higher End of the Dark Sword, Enchanting Beauty, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. Double Manticore as well, and the Shanesh Harvesters. Most builds roughly encompass this kind of idea. Front line's a little bit smaller. Look at the damage coming out of those Black Ark Corsairs. Human Boy here needs to shoot these shots into the rest, I imagine, and you're looking pretty strong. What am I seeing these shots actually shooting here up against the War Hydra, perhaps? Spirit Leech, just a normal. Oh, there he is. So it looks like Arcan's gone forward. He's going to Spirit Leech one of the Manticores. No healing here. Big hit there from the Wand on the Casket of Souls. We'll be seeing a second wand coming out soon, that's for sure. We are going to be shooting into the front line. The double archer is going to be doing some pretty decent damage. 80 armor is present, but of course here with the Black Ark Corsairs, they don't have any shields. Front Manticores in the front. Mr. Doctor, how are we? How are we indeed? Looks like a Spirit Leech going down. Not a Spirit Leech, sorry. Going down here with a Soul Stealer. Soul Stealer in the pocket should do some decent damage here up against the Disruptive Great Bows. Won't kill any models, but certainly do some good damage up against all of them indeed. Looks like we are going to be terrifying the Black Ark Corsairs in the front. We are going to move through here with the Hero Titan. If he gets on side and gets the Shems down the front, whew, that could be some damage. Dread Spears on the right flank. This should hold here. In the back, though, we do have the Dark Riders. They have popped through even just the smallest of holes here. In the back, the Eyes of the Desert, the Spectral Stalkers. Armor piercing, poison damage, anti-large, and armor piercing. I'd like to see them deal with these Dark Riders. They're a little bit in the back pocket here. We do have to be careful. In she comes. Morathi fighting here up against the Casket of Souls. Certainly need to have some aid in here. We need to be getting those Eyes of the Desert in. We are going to have a summon here of those nice skeleton warriors. Burning Head down the front here up against the skeleton spearmen. They're getting absolutely deleted. War Hydra is in the pocket as well, and now we're starting to collapse. Nevermore here, he's got that War Hydra in. I'd like to see a couple of breath attacks. Haven't seen too many of those breath attacks yet. Burning Head does come down the front, does some good damage up against those spearmen. Burning Head needs to come out earlier to aid the front line, but unfortunately they're going to be just a little bit too late on. Hume Boy is going to be struggling in the pocket. It looks like in the back here, charging with the shields up against these skeletons. Restore going down on the Eyes of the Desert. Where's the lady? Looks like we do have a Manticore popped on top of the skeleton archers. Skeleton archers here on the right are going down as well. Could we get a breath attack here from the War Hydra though? Now the War Hydra is going to be chasing after the Disruptive Great Bows, running away here. In the sky, Morathi is pretty weak. It looks like here we are going to be getting a wand going down on the Eyes. I wouldn't mind seeing a wand on the Casket of Souls. It's going to do nowhere near as much damage there. If we got it on the Casket of Souls, I think that would have been better. So, we are going to get... Oh, we don't quite catch the Eyes of the Desert. Nice movement there from Human Boy, but there's going to be some healing here from Morathi. Soul Stealer going down. We will actually catch the Casket of the Souls, Skeleton Warriors, and the Archers. But here we can see Burning Head should be ready to go yet again pretty soon. Burning Head across this line should do quite nicely. Shooting in the front here, using the Casket of Souls to do some nice damage. Very weak here is the Casket. Casket is going to be going down here relatively quickly. Negative 30 leadership, down to 200 health, is going to fall. Looks like we do have a Spirit Leech going down somewhere here in the pocket. Spirit Leech goes down on Morathi. Probably would have preferred to see a Spirit Leech on the Manticore. Manticore is causing some problems here for Arkan. We are going to be shooting armor-piercing shots here into the War Hydra, but of course he has regen, so shooting into the War Hydra is not a problem. I think you actually probably quite like that. Probably want to have the Skeptical Stalkers here. More than likely shooting into the Ferro Manticore would be better. Rear charges here from the Dark Rider shields, moving in with Nevermore and the War Hydra as he fights up against these anti-large snakes. Halberds in hand, they're going to be fighting here up against the gorgeous War Hydra. Look at this thing. So goddamn impressive. Black Ark Corsairs really chewing apart their Skeleton Warriors in the front line. Balance of power is in the favour of the Tomb Kings, apparently. But one of the Manticores going down. The second one is still going strong. Looks like a Spirit Leech here as well. Spirit Leech is going to do some good damage. Charge there. Oh, nice big hit from the man Arkan. Hero Titan is going to cleave and finish that off. Hero Titan is very healthy. I actually thinking about it. I don't know what we have to take down that Hero Titan. Slash Harvesters in the back. I think we've probably seen a Soul Stealer from them at some point. Skeleton Warriors are going to be dying here in the front line. Negative leaderships will cause them to die over time. Morathi is super weak here. Do we have... How many fireballs do we have? I reckon we've got 2 or 3 fireballs. Maybe enough to take out Arkan the Black. If we can take out Arkan, anything's possible. But we are breaking Spears. We are breaking Dark Riders. We are breaking Slanesh Harvesters. We do have a Foot Sorceress as well. We need some Burning Heads. Word of Pain for the Lord. A lovely breath attack here from the War Hydra. That's at least 2 been used. Negative melee attack here for Arkan is going to hurt. They needed to keep chasing. But it's not they are going to be fighting up against the Necrotect here. War Hydra is moving in. Arkan is going to run away. Rightly so. We do have 105 speed for Morathi. Morathi is going to get a Spirit Leech though. Not too much damage coming out from her. 770. You need to move in with the Black Ark Corsairs if it's all possible. Try and fight against the Hero Titan. Soul Stealer going down in the pocket though. Soul Stealer is going to get to the Necrotect and the Hero Titan. Balance of power now pulling into the Dark Elf favor. This is going to be a super close game. We need to take out these Disruptive Great Bows as the Dark Elves. We need to get in the back there and start shutting them down. Manticore is going to be chasing after Ark in the back. Leave a Noctis going down. Fire Mage is now going to fight. I think not quite catching a hit here. Don't know if we Summon of the Skeleton Warriors clutch there to pin them in to allow Arkin to get away. In the middle though, we are going to be breaking apart the Necrotect here. The War Hydra going to be slapping with the tail. In we do move with the Hero Titan. Now we don't have weakness to fire, so Shem's Burning Gaze could be a nice ability in here. Shneth Harvester's move in the back to shut down the Ushopti Great Bow. But in the middle here, the fight between two Titans. The War Hydra armor piercing. Up against the armor piercing Hero Titan as well. Blackheart Corsairs in to really chew up the day. They are struggling here. Necrotect is coming into aid as well, down to 700 health for him. You can see we have the Sorceress fighting in melee combat with the spears up against the summoned skeletons. But in the back here, we are going to be having more mana. Staff and Nagash going down for the improved charge rate and also the ability to use Spirit Leech quicker. Marathi moves. Is she going to be able to snipe is the question. Nice charge there from the Dark Riders. Marathi is in there. Marathi should win in combat. She's going to get away. And now we're going to pin in with the Shanesh Harvesters. We should fight pretty well here against Arkin. They do have 40% physical resistance. Fireball straight to the face of Arkin as well. Balance of power shifting heavily into the Dark Elf favor now. Hero Titan is very strong. Lovely breath attack here going straight down on the Hero Titan, and that should be enough to call the day. It's close. Yes, so there we go. That is balance of power, and that is the game. Howdy, Shax. How are we? Hope we're doing well. For those that don't know Shax, awesome dude, does some streaming here on YouTube as well. Likes to do his legendary campaigns. Well, I don't think they're on legendary, sorry. I believe they're on very hard, but he plays nice campaigns. I believe you were doing the Lady of Avalon last, I believe. If I'm correct, But yes, 1.6k damage value for Marathi. We've got 700 as well for the Fire Sorceress. 152 kills, 400 damage value for the Dread Spears. 127, 123 kills, 600 for the Black Arcs. 120 for 540, 63 for 440. And for those Dark Riders, 200, 300, and 500. And the last one here, 450 damage value. Pretty good considering these cost 500 each. You know, one getting their value and the other two pretty close, but still some more value to give as well. It's very strong. 980 for the Shanesh Harvesters with 340, 1.2 for Ferromanticores, and 2,570 damage value for the War Hydra. Let's go, Nevermore. God damn it, man. That is sick value there. So for Human Boy, we got 1.6k here for Ark and the Black, with 240 for the Necrotect, 288, 320, 306 for the Warriors. For the Spears, we got 340, 51, 122, 680, and 150. For the Skeleton Archers, 280 and 200. For the Ushopti Great Bows, though, 780, 1.5k for the Eyes of the Desert, with 1,100 for the Hero Titan, and 1.2k here for the Casket of Souls. I guess Greater Arcane Conduit OP. GG's well played. How'd you have so much mana? Take care, take care, take care, Mr. Human Boy. So Nevermore, you must play now as Tomb Kings. Alrighty, so we move here into the Discord and we find our next opponent. The next opponent is Mr. Artisan Tech Priest West. Let's have a look. Artisan Tech Priest West is in. The man, the meme, the legend is in. Artisan Tech Priest, ladies and gentlemen. What up, Mr. Human Boy? Well played today, sir. 3-0 going down there. Well played. You are going to be the leader of today. And yet again, we'll do it again. Of course, Human Boy's book. Please, if you guys are just joining here or you've never seen me before or you don't even know who Human Boy is, please go check out his channel. type in Human Boy, yes, all with spaces. Go on to that YouTube, find him there, give him a cheeky subscription, drop onto a video, give it a watch, and say hello from Logic. And a man of many talents, especially bringing up all these super, super fun tournaments here in the community that are all for fun. He does throw up the odd competitive tournament, but of course, when you have something for fun as well, it really brings some life back into the game, and that's something we certainly need here. So go give him some love. If you like reading about all things that have magical babies, fights, demons, dragons, all those really, really cool, fun things. Like, for example, I'm watching The Last Kingdom at the moment. I really love that Viking era. Valhalla Forever could be the book for you. So if you'd like to support Human Boy, or even for myself, go get this book. Go give it a read, and yeah, go support it. Leave a comment on wherever you purchase it. But yeah, well played, Human Boy. He absolutely smashed it today. But of course, going down to the nil there, and we will be changing the name to Mr. Artisan. Mr. Artisan, Tech Priest West. The score here will be a dubski for one of the players in the Shortbeards. Well played to Mr. Nevermore, playing very well indeed. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Replays for casting. Oh, Mr. Stormrunner and Mr. Pantelenard in with the submissions. Love to see it. Hero Titan didn't do as much as I needed, but the Hydra pick was real nice. The Hydra pick was very strong. The Hydra pick is actually like really underrated in that matchup, I think. The reason why people don't bring it normally is because like you shove to great bows just to destroy it, but in that matchup as well, you can't bring too many Ushopti great bows. Invariably, if you have one unit of Ushopti, it will out heal the Ushopti shots. Two, you will win, but it'll take you a while. And if it does get its ability, I mean, they are bugged at the same time. I don't know if they fixed that, but they are bugged. Oh, here we go. Kazo Kit. Kazo Hut. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dowie. We have Dowie. Hero Titan is a joke overall. Hero Titan could be stronger. I think the way they tried to balance it, of course, you get more Winds of Magic, you get a free Spirit Leech, you get 2 Shem's Burning Gaze that don't cost mana. I think that's where a lot of its costs go. It's not very good melee combatant. It never really has been, but it is a really cool unit to look at, for sure. Yeah, I've been using more Rogue Idols, especially against Vamps. Rogue Idol, the ROR, is very good. It is very good. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Sure, it's expensive, easy to kill, slow, clunky, but it's a Titan, so it's best. I mean, yeah, it is super fun. It is super fun. There is no doubt. I wish it could be more utilized. I thought it had 3 Spirit Leeches. I'm not too sure why, but I was pretty sure it had 3 Spirit Leeches. But I don't know if 3 Spirit Leeches would be too much. I mean, you could give it 2 Spirit Leeches. Maybe just give it some more abilities. Give it more Spirit Leeches. Can't hurt, can it? I don't think. You know, give TK something a little bit more to play with, you know. I think, you know, some of the stuff they can use, like, you see Ushopti Great Bows because they're great, but you don't see Ushopti. You see Skeptical Stalkers sometimes, mainly only the ROR. You see Skeleton Horse Archers. You see cheap front lines. You never see mid-tier infantry from them. There are certain Legendary Lords that, in my opinion, are not good. Cost efficiency-wise,
it's tough to use the Tomb Kings, and I feel like the Tomb Kings really fall into the trap of Dark Elves, where there is a meta way to play them, and the meta way is pretty much very similar to almost every single matchup. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, even things like the Rogue Idol have more utilization, I think, than the Hero Titan, for example. But, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult. Don't give it more Spirit Leech, please. I mean, you need to do something to it. You need to give it, like, missile resistance or something, because this thing is not tanky. It has got to go. See you around. Take care, human boy. Thank you very much for playing, buddy. You enjoy the rest of your day, evening. All the banned spells is why Double Titan is banned. I think Double Titan would be terrible anyway. I think Double Titan would just be terrible. It would just be terrible. But that's fair, Nick. But I think I've... Yeah. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I don't know how to make it work. I mean, I don't really think that matters, CJ. Like, bonus verse only works on charge anyway. Like, bonus verse infantry or bonus verse large is on charge, right? So if you got, like, bonus 30, like, bonus verse large, like, let's say 30, that's going to give it, like, plus 30 melee attack, which is kind of important. But the plus 30 weapon strength is, like, not going to do anything. Like, it's just base weapon damage that it does so much armor piercing, it doesn't matter anyway. Whatever it thumps, it's gonna hit hard if it connects. The extra melee attack, I guess, is nice, but yeah. Long Paul Dupree, how are we? Heavily armored infantry make a difference to TK, or it is not that simple to fix. Maybe something in between Chaos Warriors and Chosen. So that is the thing, right? So there's an interesting conversation here, Long Paul Dupree, and that's something that you've brought up that's really interesting. The problem is if you give every faction, so the weakness of Tomb Kings is they don't have good infantry. Their infantry just sucks. It is bad. The problem is if you give every faction everything, all gameplay will be the same, and there'll be you'll lose that individualism between each faction. So for example, Dowie is known as being slow, heavily armored, and a massive ranged unit. But if everything has armor, Dowie are now just a slow faction compared to everything else. So at some element, you do need to have weaknesses for certain factions. And where they are strong is the fact they are cheap, they are mobile, they cover most places, and they have massive strengths, but of course big weaknesses. The map is actually going to change. I haven't changed it yet, so we're going to play on Eshkin. The ancestors will be pleased with the build. I hope so. Two Titans might work versus VC with Archon because you can Spirit Leech. Yeah, you can do. Yeah, you can do. I think a rule where you can only bring. I don't think you'd be able to. No, because you can't do that. You can't do that in rules. You can't take more than one of the same spell. So if you take Spirit Leech on the Titan, you can't take Spirit Leech with Archon. So you can't do that anyway. I'm pretty sure. Very good point. Distinctive factions is a key point of this game. Yeah, exactly. Like, every faction has a weakness, and I think every faction should have a weakness. That's what makes this game so in detail, so fun, so great, and like the lore behind it, the in-depth detail you get from lore that's translated onto the game is super fun. And like, things should have weaknesses. If you just give Tomb, like, for example, the reason why like Tomb King struggle, the same like Dowie do and a few other factions, and while they'll never be at the top, is the fact that their weaknesses are so large and against the meta that unfortunately they'll never be at the top. You know, for example, if the meta is heavy infantry, they're never going to be there. If the meta is heavy cavalry and skirmish, they're never going to be there. But they are very strong in certain matchups because they have brilliant counters. You Shopti Great Bows, Bone Giants,
you know, you name it, Skeptical Stalkers. They've got these incredible tools that are so good that they are very, very good counters. And that's the same as Dowie. It's the same as Dowie indeed. So, Slayers here. Bringing in the Slayerkin with the Dragonback. Slayers, 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 Giant Slayers, more Slayers, and just Slayers everywhere. The Akron Miners here with the double Thanes. One here with Deadly Onslaught. The second with Deadly Onslaught as well. Thoric Ironbrow with the Rune of Speed. The Rune of Doom. The Locus of Power. Very nice indeed with some more Giant Slayers. God damn it. This is a rush. 5 units of blasting charging miners in the front line, including the Urkrons as well for the triple blastings. This should be fun. This should be fun. So in the front line here, Skeleton Warriors. 5 units, or was that 6? Skeletons. Oh, Tomb Guard as well, yeah. So let's look, we have some Tomb Guard. So the one thing here about the problem with the infantry, Tomb Guard, they're elite infantry. On the bell curve of armor, Tomb Guard, 50 armor. 50 armor is poor. 50 armor is garbage in comparison. But of course they have Silver Shields to negate that. Also, they have their healing that's built into the faction. They also get a free summon, and they have other elements as well. Decent melee combatant stats, though. Leadership's pretty decent for a faction that is also undead. You shop the Great Bow in the back line. So we have two. We have 2 of those skeleton chariots, 9 models. Scepter the Imperishable as well on chariot. Let's get over to him. He's also going to be the caster today. Look at those burning wheels, man. So we are going to be having Wrath of Petrov, the Incantation of Protection, and the Incantation of the Cursed Blades. Love it. Pretty cost efficient there. 2 units of the Fast Carrion 100 speed in the sky, and 2 Tomb Scorpions. Yeah, pretty strong. Pretty strong. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Big Dowie energy, beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. But yes, what you say, Long Paul, is a very good conversation point. I think that you need to be able to change the units within the units to help them fight better against certain factions. So one thing I am trying to push, and one thing I really want, there's a magic caster for Tomb Kings that has the Law of Shadows. There's only campaign exclusive. Now the reason it's only campaign exclusive is in the campaign it's not immediately free. You have to earn it in the campaign, and because of that it's counted as a campaign exclusive. Now there's no reason that it can't be in the faction pool. There's no reason at all. CA could just literally just put it in the faction pool, and then they have an extra winter magic, which means you can have, for example, Pendulum against Chaos and Dowie. Now that really helps them out in that faction. And all it is just an extra winter magic. And they have it available, it's just only their campaign exclusive area. So, you know, something to think about. You know, some food for conversation, perhaps. So, moving forward here, the Slayers, of course, they are going to be extremely lightly armored, but we have the blasting charges here to remove the front line, and the rest are going to struggle. Let's look here, the Carrion are going to be flying on top of the miners, trying to stop those blasting charges. And look at that Tomb of Scorpion. He is glowing right now. Look at this bad boy. I think he's so cool. But in move here, the Slayers, they're going to struggle with the armor piercing, but they'll chew apart eventually. Blasting charges in the front, absolutely deleting the Skeleton Warriors. Very nice work there. Rune of Doom, that clang in the backside, and on the floor here, we'll see it very soon here. Look at that Rune of Doom there on the floor. 24 melee attack and fear going faction wide here for the Dowie. In the back, those Yoshopti Grey Bows do need to pile into Thoric Ironbrow. That's where they need to shoot, and they need to shoot strong. On the side here, we can see healing coming out. Look at the numbers just jumping up here in deaths. 191 already. 225 will equal the souls 2. Double Thanes as well. Seriously, Thanes are so hard for the Tomb Kings to deal with as well. On the side here, the Chariot's going to be cycling through up against the miners and blasting charges. The Giant Slayers here going to be carving apart Scepter the Imperishable. Need to get some more of these Skeleton Warriors back into the middle line here. In the front, the Tomb Guard fighting. Blasting charges over the top here. Blasting charges will absolutely destroy it. Also including here the extra weapon strength here, or the missile strength from the Akron Miners will help really ground and pound here as well. Giant Slayers, as well as the armor-piercing pickaxes here from the Miners moving into the backside. 80 armor on the Skeleton Chariots. 80 armor. No, 110 armor for Scepter the Imperishable. I actually thought it was 90, but 110 armor for him as well is pretty strong. In the middle here, we are going to be getting the Realm of Yoshopti summoning on top. I don't know how I feel about this. He is going to summon on top. Arm piercing can do some good work up against Thoric Ironbrow. Although these are anti-infantry, it's not too large. I think the bonus for its infantry is 6. No, 5. God damn, it's not good. It's not good. But I use these as just anti-large. I use them as just anti-large. You see, good armor piercing, good weapon strength. They struggle on the melee attack. 23 melee attack is pretty poor for a unit of elite monstrous infantry, if you were. Tomb Scorpions struggling. Slayers in the back are going to be pushing here onto the Ashopti Greatbows. Nowhere for them to run. They do have 54 speed, and of course here we have 40 for all Slayers. So they will be able to outrun and kite, but it's going to be tough. In the back here, the Slayers are going to catch. We are going to be dying with the Ashopti Greatbows. Negative 51 leadership there. Negative 54 now. Probably very, very close here to shattering. Negative 46, negative 44, 45, and it's pretty much their demise from there. Balance of power heavily in the favour of the Dowie. But here in the front, we can see that we have lost the Ashopti. Ashopti do go down to Thoric Slayers, as well as those Thanes, nice and healthy. And this is why it is so difficult for the Tomb Kings. Even a Mimi build, like a full Slayer push, which, I must admit, is going to praise the gods. But unfortunately here, it's going to be too much meme. The meme, the dream here, coming in from Artisan Tech Priest West. Good luck, have fun from both sides. Love to see that. Very, very nice to see them going there. You Ashopti Greatbow going to be shooting Tomb Scorpions as well, fighting up against these Slayers. But of course, when these Great Axe boys come in, they are going to be carving apart all Scorpions and Ashopti. Axes high. I love watching them just charge with their axes in the air. Fighting here, I think there's a Tomb Scorpion here in the middle. Yes, he is. Tomb Scorpion in the tree. See if I can get a nice view on him. He's going to be stuck in the trees. I don't know if that's going to give any negative to stats here. I don't think so. Mr. Daxter, you should be up next, my friend. But here in the middle, Rune of Doom going down as well. Plus 24 melee attack. Considering when you have those great weapons as well. 72 melee attack for 50 armor piercing and bonus first large weapon strength. And I believe it's in the range of about 30 here. 30 bonus first large as well. They're going to be carving down. Balance of power here going to be on a teetering edge. As we can see, keeping Citra alive is going to be key. He needs to cycle through, do as much damage, but of course here, the great weapon giant slayers have a tremendous amount of mass here in the middle pocket. So holding in and doing some nice work indeed. Blasting charges should not be firing here. Blasting charges will do more damage up against your slayers than they will up against the units of the Tomb Kings. But going down here, Citra is going to be dying over time. That is going to be army losses. And GG's well played to the man, the myth, the god of memes. Mr. Deadly Bunnies, how are we? Made it back. And Nevermore current king. Yes, indeed, he beat Mr. Human Boy. He beat him with the Dark Elves up against Tomb Kings. Now beating with Tomb Kings up against Artisan. Sorry, wrong way around. Artisan now beating Nevermore with the Dowie. But the Dowie will have to be now the Tomb Kings. Yes, indeed. Very well played. So 600 here for Citra the Imperishable. 4150. 30-106. And 217 for the Skeleton Warriors. For the Tomb Guard, 56 and 250. As you can see, performing absolutely no different here to the Skeleton Warriors. I think Spears here would have been better for the cost. 617, 480 here for the Skeleton Chariots. I think 4 Chariots is necessary. And you definitely want some carrying here. Because, of course, if they do go a Sky Force, so if you had gone Gyrocopters here, 2 units of carrying would not have been enough. 350 and 350 here for the Tomb Scorpions, 440 and 240 here for the Ashopti Greatbows. For the man, the myth, 330 for Thoric Ironbrow, 300 and 170 here for the Thanes, costing at about 650 each. We got 300, 450, 740, 300 and 440 here for the miners with the blasting charges, 1,380 for the giant slayers, 1,035 for the second unit. 1,340 here for those Slayers, 990, 830 for the Dragonbacks with 600 and 400 for the last unit. Very strong. So, leaving here, Artisan will now be taking the lead. So, well played to him. Oh. Weeny bit of saliva there. Alrighty, so GG's here. We'll be dropping that to a Nipois. And we'll be moving this score here up to DOS. So for anybody here that does want to join, maybe wants to get involved a little bit, have some fun, feel free to sign up on the Discord. Get your names in there, get your names ready to go, and we'll get you going. But yeah, Nevermore will be dropping down here, I believe. So let's have a little look here. So Yes, I think Dacta's next. Let's have a little look here. So, yes, Dacta is next, and then what we need to see is Maldove is going to be ready after that. So, let's have a look. Yes, Dacta. Let's get you in, my friend. Dacta, Dacta, Dacta. Mr. ODM Dacta. Where are you, friend? Ah, hello, hello, hello. Dwarves and Warriors of Chaos. Very good bands indeed. We are going to be moving it on here. Let's go for Outdorf Outskirts. Now, Dacta here is an elite Wood Elf player. He's a very, very good Wood Elf player. So seeing him here should be pretty strong, pretty fun. I'm back for work time. Welcome, Mr. Lee Manley. For those who don't know, that's Omen. One of the newest mods here on the channel, so welcome, welcome. Honestly, Thoric had this matchup a lot worse than it already was. Yeah, he's made this matchup a lot worse, for sure, for sure, for sure. GG's hard when I don't know much of the faction. Indeed, Nevermore, I think that's the whole idea of the Shortbeard. So, Nevermore's one of the Shortbeards, so is Mr. Undead. Fantastically nice people, good players as well. So, the whole idea of the Shortbeard League, it is for brand new players. If you want to come in and get involved, the way you can do that, come onto the Discord, come make it known. Hey guys, I'd like to come play in the Shortbeard League. What we do here is we do league and tournament practice. So the league follows the Warhammer World Championship style of playing, where you join into a group with 4 or 5 other players, and what you do is you play best of 3s against everybody in there over the season of 2 to 3 weeks. And then once that's done, the top 2 players in that bracket move on and move up. Now, if you're in the top bracket, what you do is you actually move out of the Shortbeard League. Once you've won in the top league, so there are 5 leagues, once you've won in the top, you actually become a Longbeard, and which means you've had enough experience here to go into the outer world and play in all the other tournaments. So what can happen here? You come in, you come join, you come play me or the admins, and then we put you in one of the categories, and you come play and have some fun. Now, the only thing that we do ask here on the channel, of course, if you are part of it, is you do play your games. That's all we ask. Roughly, if you are playing, say, up against 4 people, and you have about 2 weeks, that's 2 best of 1s per week. 2 best of 3s per week. So best of 3s somewhere between 40 minutes and an hour. So normally about 20 minutes a game on average. So if you guys do get your games done, you've got to do about 2 hours a week. So even if you do that on the weekends, on a Saturday and a Sunday, you're just playing 2 games. That's all it is. That's all it is. Shortbeards are definitely fun. Yes. How you doing, Jason? Nice to see you here, friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's I've loved doing the Shortbeards. I've loved being involved with it. I've loved seeing the guys here grow on the channel. And something else I'll also mention as well for you guys as well. Obviously, Tisty does host his ladder. So if you guys don't know about him, Tisty's an awesome guy. He's put up a ladder for all of the guys in the Warhammer community. He's going to run a little bit like quick battles, but it works more so in the ELO system. So when you played 5 games, you then get ranked. So don't worry, you do 5 best of 3s, and once the best of 3s are done, you then get put in a tier. So I think it's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, masters, something like that. So basically it means if you're like in bronze, you're probably not going to play anybody higher than gold. And obviously the better players you beat, the more points you get, and you can grow your level through the ranks, which means you'll play against more people like yourself as well. So you can sort of come join the Shortbeard, do a little bit with authenticity, do some stuff for myself. I know that there's some really fun tournaments as well that Human Boy does. You can get involved with him and could play some more games. And then I host Battlemania. We also have the Death Before Dishonor with Rubber Duck of War. And then of course Turin has all of his massive tournaments as well. So there's still lots going on here in the tournament scene for you guys. I'm trying to do some more league work as well. We have the WWC come around the corner next year. So there's lots going on behind the scenes here, guys. So just make sure that you get involved. You message some of the appropriate people. And if you want to get any more information, of course, my private message box is always open. Beard is not specified if it grows on your chinny chin chin. Yeah, a beard is not necessary to play. Phoenix joined yesterday, and she very clearly doesn't have a beard, but yeah, she having some great fun. But of course, if you do have a beard, it does help. I get a lot of practice on Tisty's ladder. I tend to lose there a lot. Yeah, but I mean, I think I would say this more than anybody. You learn more from losing, and the better players you can play against, you learn more from losing, because the other thing as well, you can get like a negative. You can get a negative positive experience. So, for example, if you play somebody you win, that might not necessarily have been the best way you could have played. Of course, it's always lovely winning. It's always lovely winning, and you know, you can certainly get into certain patterns where are not like best for you to play in this game mode. I know for me, I like to play up against good players. The best players I can play against, the better. Means I'm going to learn more. I see how they play. I see what they do. I see how they approach certain scenarios and how they can play up against other better players. So I do encourage going on a Tissy's ladder and trying to see if you can push yourself there. How do I sign up to the next Battlemania Longbeard thingy? Rusty, so if you'd like to become a Shortbeard and play in the league, hop onto the Discord. What I'll do is I'll pop in a message for you here. So I'll pop a link for you. So invite people. So there we go. So if you join just here, that'll send you to my Discord, to my general. Go make yourself known there. And what you'll do, Rusty, is you'll play up against myself or one of the admins, and then we'll get you into the league that way. Now, I thought you could play in the Shortbeard if you're a new player and you only want to play up against other new players. That's a way of doing that. And the other way we do it as well is we also do tournament experience. So the tournament experience, so we have the Shortbeard League, and then we have the Shortbeard Tournament. So the Shortbeard tournaments are based around Battlemania, but at the same time, it's only for Shortbeard players. So only new players can be playing up against new players. It's a free place for you guys to gain experience and get used to playing in the WWC, get used to playing in tournaments, and how to use challenge. It just gets you into the scene and gets you using some stuff that hopefully you'll be using here in the future. So it should give you a good grounding and a good place to grow and really join the vast multiplayer scene that we've already got. And for Battlemania, I post them up on the channel. That's going to be my competitive game. So if you want to come and play in Battlemania, I'll be posting them there on the channel. I'll be at everybody, and then you'll be able to see that there under the Battlemania, under the tournament section. So you'll be able to sign up there and play on challenge whenever you are ready to play. So if you have any more questions or you have any more ideas or any sort of tournaments you'd like to host as well, I know I've had a request from a fan that would like to host a tournament here on the channel. He's going to be putting up the prize money, and I'm going to be hosting the channel, hosting the tournament and casting the finals for him. If you have any ideas like that as well, always feel free to drop me a message. Always good to see new things, fun things, and all things in between. So in the front line here, we are going to have 2 units of the Skeleton Horsemen. Pretty fast there, 76 speed. We are also going to have the gorgeous big boy himself, the Tomb Scorpion. Phenomenal unit. It's not going to be moving back here with Artisan, but in the front line we are going to be having Skeleton Warriors. That's like 5 units of those. Your Shubti Greybows, the Chosen of the Gods, indeed. These will be the Shield Breaker variety, so they'll actually remove. So if it's silver, it goes down to bronze. Bronze goes down to no shield at all. In the back here, we are going to be having, I can't see it because it's got a tree in its face, but we are going to have the Sphinx of Yusef, a gorgeous model. My favourite in the entire Tomb King roster. We'll be having a fire resistance. It does fire damage, anti-large armor piercing, and also magical damage as well. On the side here, we are going to have a Necrotect, which will have that restore to heal up the big boy himself. The Vampiritis Under the Sun, giving the negative melee attack and negative to fire weakness. So partnered here along the Sphinx of Yusef can be very strong. The Leechy Priest of Light, which will be having the Canopy there for the magic resistance in a 40-meter radius, as well as the Scrolls of Mighty Incantations and the Net of Amatok. The last unit I am imagining is going to be Cetra the Imperishable. Yes, Cetra the Imperishable here with the Blessed Blade of Petra, imbuing that fire damage, Wrath of Petra, Incantation of Protection, the Incantation of the Cursed Blades, the Unyielding Will, the Restless Dead, and the Curse. Quite the build here, very heavy on the Quintuple Core there. That actually looks like too many monsters. That's too many single entity monsters, sir. That's too many, I believe. So, in the front line here, we are going to be having Marauder Berserkers, mixing in with a front line of normal Marauders, Marauder Berserkers, and Marauders, including the Ice Horn Marauders here for that perfect figure and immune to psychology. Very important. In the back here, we are going to have some Javos, 4 units of Javelins, mixing in with the Famir Belfiend of Fire. Familiar Belfiend will be having the added stats compared to regular armor sundering, armor piercing, as well as the burning head, fireball, kindle flame, and arcane conduit. In the back, we are going to have Wulfric the Wanderer. Wulfric here will be having the Hunters of Champions and Seafang. No fight or die, quite strange there, but I do quite like that ability. Manticore in the sky here, of course, causing that terror, but it can rampage. 2 units, very strong indeed, with some more Marauders and some Marauder great weapons. Very nice here. Norskins and Tomb Kings on the front door of the Empire, of course, going to be making them very scared here at the Outdoor outskirts. I'm not too sure if it's legal. I don't think it's legal. I can't remember how many single entity models you're meant to have. I think SEM's is maximum 3, but it's a rule that I haven't challenged in a while, so I do forget. I do forget, to be fair. But in the front line here, we can see that we are going to be charging in with a Necrotect as well. Yeah, and here we come. The pounding Kitty Cat ready to slam here into the front line. Manticore is going to be doing some good work here in the pocket. 2 Scorpions coming in to join as well. These need to stay tight. Tight. So it's the right-hand side flank here, really trying to push hard. Now we can try and see if we can snipe Wulfric the Wanderer. Good luck, have fun to both sides. I love to see that. In the middle here, we can see the rampaging Manticore. Second one in as well. Idle Marauders to join. And here the Familiar Fiend of Fire could certainly do with a couple of fireballs here in the pockets. The Blessed Raider Patrol. The Hunters of Champions going down on Tzeentch the Imperishable, giving 0 melee defense. Losing that armor as well, down to 65. But he's going to have that imbued fire damage. Wulfric's going to be fighting. Not key here for Tzeentch to be fighting at this moment. Sphinx of Yusef is going to be having a few abilities. Restore and the Jazaf's Incantation of the Cursed Blades, giving that added base weapon damage and armor piercing. In the pocket, though, looks like we are going to be free there, the Hunters of Champions. Wulfric now going to be fighting here up against Tzeentch the Imperishable. The man that doesn't serve up against the Hunters of all. He is going to be fighting here quite hard in the pocket. Manticore is going to be rampaging into the rear side of Tzeentch. The Canopy is going down for that resistance to magic damage. Not too sure how much magic damage goes down here in this pocket, but still going to go pretty strong there. Loads of those javelins going to be firing in up against Tzeentch the Imperishable. Incantation of Protection, giving 40% damage resistance here in the middle as well. Going to help protect him for a short period of time. Whilst the rest of the front line here is going to be engaged. Marauder Berserkers will win the front line. And Shotty Great Bows here are going to be firing into the javelin front line. And the Tomb Scorpion is going to be in the back. Can he get involved? Can he get shutting down here? I certainly hope so. In the back, Incantation of Protection is still going down here. Fighting up against the Manticore. Doing pretty nicely in the back. Necrotect is stuck here up against those Marauders. Berserker is doing nicely, but the Sphinx of Yusef is no joke. 71 melee attack, 55 melee defense. Incantation of the Cursed Blades doing pretty strong. The Leechy Priest as well is going to have some good mana increase. Some nets as well could be very decent. Wulfric going to be down to half health. 3.9k getting slapped here. As you can see, going to get netted here. We're moving in with the Sphinx of Yusef, coming here to absolutely delete Wulfric the Wanderer. Those blades are so goddamn gorgeous. Netted here and still moving with their little 2-2s on. We are going to have the Marauder Berserkers trying to see if they can fight up against the Sphinx. We are going to be carving apart here. 3.5k damage for Wulfric the Wanderer. Getting recharged here by that Tomb Scorpion. He is trying to turn and run, but that is actually going to leave him weaker there on that melee defense. 3k left for him. In the sky, we don't actually have the netted Manticore. We do actually have a netted Familiar Belfiend as well. A couple of fireballs in the pocket could be nice. Fireball up against Tzeentch would be decent. He does have a weakness to fire, thanks to his bandages. But in the middle here, we can see that Wulfric is going to be struggling. Down to 2.4k health. You lose Wulfric, and you could pretty much lose the game here, I think. In the back here, though, we can see the Marauders fighting up against the Skeleton Warriors, trying to see if they can get on top of these Marauder Hunter Javelins. Javelins here. One did break. The second is coming back. 2 in the pocket as well. Still firing full skirmish here up against the Leechy Booster Life. The Leechy Priest is going to be going down, 250 health him, negative 41 leadership. He will be dying pretty quickly here. And then we're going to move on to here. We are actually going to get the other restore out. The Incantation of the Cursed Blades going down as well. So healing coming through. Very strong healing here for the Sphinx. He's going to be deleting Wulfric. Wulfric, 93 health. If we kill him, negative 16 leadership. And then we can start moving out and taking out these Javelins. As we can see in the middle, Wulfric falls onto his flank. He goes down. The man, the myth, has fallen. On the side here, though, we can see Tzeentch the Imperishable, 1,000 health left for him, getting absolutely smashed by these Javelins. Tomb Scorpion in the middle. I'd like to see them push out here and delete these Javos. in the pocket, though the Famir Belfiend, he's having some problems. Going to be fighting up against the Sphinx as well as Tzeentch. Tzeentch 455 health. In the back, we do have a summon of the Yashopti, breaking one of the 2 javelins. The second still going strong. 90 health left here for Tzeentch the Imperishable, -7, and he falls as well. Falling yet again onto his... Look at the death animation here. Rising and then exploding here in the middle pocket. Balance of power is going to be in the Tomb King favor. A nice, very healthy Sphinx of Yusuf here in the pocket. We are going to be breaking the Marauder Berserkers, but in the middle here, the Famir Belfiend is going to be getting absolutely carved here, diced up by the Sphinx. Negative leadership. Does he have mental psychology? No, he doesn't. Terror could be affecting here. He is going to break. Arcane Conduit goes down, so we will get the added mana if he does come back, and that is going to be a pullout here from Mr. Dacta. Although I think the build was illegal, alright, so Rusty's already going to be playing up against Murkloc. I like it. I like it. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Alright, we'll punch through the numbers here. So, 915 for Wolfric the Wanderer, 250 here for the Famir Belfiend, 190, 211, 220, and 260 here for the Marauders. Marauder Great Weapons, 135. And looks like for the Ice Horns, 526. I really like the Ice Horn Marauders. 150 kills, 700 damage value, 600 as well for the Berserkers, and 1,600 for the second unit as well. 280 as well as 300, 670 and 1.3k for the Javelins, 1,100 and 226 for the Ferromanticores. So for the big boy, 1.8k for Tzeentch the Imperishable. Losing my throat. 133 here for the Leechy Priest of Light, 980 for the Necrotect, with 1.5k here, nearly 1.6 for the Sphinx of Yusuf. 920 for the Tomb Scorpion, but that was 1, 2, 3. Oh, I thought there was 2 Tomb Scorpions. Oh, maybe not. And 1.5 here for the Chosen of the Gods. 160, 240, 220, 230, and 177 for the Skeleton Warriors. 220 and 200 here for the Skeleton Horsemen. GG's. GG's indeed. Very well played. God, that line of sight is bad. I'd say GG, but losing game purely off. Oh, okay. So we cannot shoot the giant monster with blade hands. Alrighty, so let me see here. Yeah, I mean, that is the problem with javelins. Line of sight is a bit of a problem. Alrighty, so we'll move through to the next stage. Oh, I've been pinged in something. Short beard. What did I get pinged in? I didn't see what I got pinged in. I got pinged in something. Alright, so let's move on. Naked check gives additional armor, which means Sphinx has about 130 armor. Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting build there from Artisan. I thought I had 2 Tomb Scorpions, but I only saw the 1 actually. So, okay, let's see if my man is free. So let's just see if Mr. Malderve is ready. There he is. We'll add him as a friend as well. Let's have a look. That missiles can't target Master Sphinx. Only too much javelins for shooting. They were bugged. Just unreal. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. I mean, it does suck. It does suck. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't know. I don't know, Doctor. Sorry, that's the case. Obviously, none of us here can do anything about it, but you know, it's a sad point at the game at the moment. Unfortunately, that it doesn't work. I wish it did, but sadly, clearly it doesn't. But hopefully in the future, these sort of things will get fixed. Maybe save that replay Dactyr and send it to CA. Is all I can recommend. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know if anybody in the crowd wants to have a game. Since that we've run out of players here, we can call it the end of the day if we like, or we can try and see. I've messaged Malderve and see if he wants to play. Would seem that he's not online, so perhaps not available. But the slots are open. We have been through the full list. If anybody wants to have another go, or anybody wants to cycle in that's new, please feel welcome. I will prioritise those that are new, but of course, if other people want to have another go, feel free to as well. Pretty much first come, first serve. Alright, looks like touring's going to be starting in 5 minutes as well, so I could just send you guys over there. We can play one more, and then I'll jump you guys over to... Would anybody else like to have a quick game before we finish up? Hey, GJ, how you doing, man? Don't know if we have a challenger. So we'll move Artisan here, we'll put him up to DOS. Sure, I'll pop in quick. Nice, Rusty, let's do it, let's do it. Should be Logic's King of the Hill Tzeentch, I think it's called. Password's just 123. Should be pretty comfortable to find. And then it looks like, then I'll move you guys on to Mr. Turin. I think Mr. Turin is going to be streaming with Miss Phoenix and Zyphos. That should be pretty fun. How you getting on, Rusty? You able to find the lobby? By logic, have all the short beer games been finished? No, they haven't. Trying to swap from beta to live. Oh, I see. How long is it saying there? I thought it would be straight swap. Nah, it does take a moment. It's not instant, but yeah, so for me it's sort of like, this is why I don't want to use the beta in the competitive scene right now, because it's just people swapping all the time. Just keep it normal, keep it simple. Those that don't know what they're doing can still get involved, and we don't have to keep swapping back and forth then, you know? Just makes it easier. So like it's just easier to prepare. So let's pick a next map then. Let's see what we got for maps. Well, do you know what? We're going to play Battle for Itza. I like Battle for Itza. That's alright. Unless somebody else can join in, you know, otherwise, and we can always still get you in, Rusty. No problem. How long is it saying it's going to take for you, Rusty? Is it going to take like more than 10 minutes? We might just call it, to be fair. Streaming for, you know, 2.5 hours now, to be fair. Yeah, the lobby's open. It's just password 123 if anybody wants to play. If I can't get somebody like the next 2 minutes, we'll just call it. So you need 60 gigabytes. Ah, right, that's probably going to take a while then. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, I think what we'll do, yes, join up. We're still ready to go if you want to join, Mr. Bunnies. I think we'll be able to find you here. Past the Eternal. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Thanks for letting me know, CJ. Ah, down in the blunder. I just saw you, mate. Yeah, I just saw your message. Nice. Well, we'll finish up here. Artisan to Bantoom. What'd you miss? Not too much, mate. We're just finishing off the final game here. Artisan against Mr. Bunnies. About Wood Elves and Vampirates. Okay, so what's Bunny's going to do is the question. Now, we could see a mirror match. What could we see here? Alright, Logic, got to jump back out. I'll catch you in the Discord. Yeah, of course, man. You take care, dude. Yeah, you enjoy the rest of your evening, friend. Sorry, I fell asleep. Yeah, no worries, dude. No worries. Well, you haven't missed too much, Lee. You haven't missed too much. The last couple of minutes, just been waiting to try and see if we get somebody in. But looks like we've got somebody in now, ready to go. Okay. Empire it is. So we're going to finish up with Empire. Won't be till I get off work. Oh yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. What time are you finishing work? Accuracy, is DE good against Norsca? Yeah, I think so. I would think so. I think it would be slightly favoured for Dark Elves, I think, yeah. I think it would be slightly favoured for Dark Elves, for sure. Scourge Runners would be pretty powerful. Shine down Scourge Run Chariots would be tough. Looks like already Artisan is going to be the current king. Of course, if he wins, he goes 3-0, which means he will be joining the top here with Mr. Humor Boy. Alright, looks like we're ready. Looks like we're ready to rumble. Perfect. Let's hop in. Alrighty, so Battle for Itza, one of my favourite maps in the game. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous map. A lot of people don't like it because of the hillside here, and it doesn't really particularly favour two sides, or either side, I would say. It's got some trees here that you can certainly utilise and work around. It's got a whole different level of terrain here as well at the top that you can utilise. I think it's a fun, nice map. It's pretty, it's fun. I honestly can't see any problems with it, but a lot of people aren't a fan of it, but I certainly do like it myself. Both are going to be loading in here, so Artisan in the final game up against Mr. Deadly Bunnies. So, for the men of Norsca, we are going to be having Marauders here, mixing in with the Berserkers. More Marauders, and more Berserkers. So 3 Berserkers, 3 Marauders. Marauder chariots in the back there with the silver chevron, coming with the added stats and leadership. Also the familiar Belfiend of Fire here with the Burning Head, Fireball, Kindle Flame, Scroll of Shielding, and Arcane Conduit. And Wolfrit the Wanderer here with the Sword of Torgal, the Hunters of Champions, Fight or Die, and Seavang and Horseback. We're also going to be having the Soul Crusher War Mammoth here with its in range for that 40% damage resistance. Yeah, it's a pretty strong build indeed. It should be very interesting here up against the Empire. So for the Empire, we are going to have 3 company militia. It looks like 4 units in the front. In the back here, we are going to be having mass kites, including the Death Jacks, the ROR, the White Huntsman, the Zintler's Reichsguard as well in the back here, all in the Vanguard. But in the back here, we are going to have quadruple Norscan Warhounds for the counter. And in the middle here, we are going to have Knights of the Blazing Sun. Bright Wizard moving in as well for the Kindle Flame, Fireball, and Burning Heads. Should be interesting. In the front, we are going to have Marcus Wolfhart, of course. Marcus here with the Hunter's Snare. Good luck, have fun, gentlemen. Enjoy it all around.
Yes, in Q similar way, the Dark Elf is good choice against Chaos, but I would argue that Norsca is more difficult.
I think because of the front line, because Norsca has more cost-efficient front line, and the Javelins are pretty decent, I actually say it's better for Norsca against Dark Elves than it is Chaos. But still, yeah. Mr. Lunacy, how are you, friend? Hope you're doing well. So guns in the front, we are going to be pushing forward immediately, coming forward here with the line as well. We are going to be shooting arrows, guns, and everything forward here up against the Marauder Berserkers and the Brutes of the Hound. Very nice, the boys here with those axes. Going to be the Unbreakable Anti-Infantry, 58 melee attack. Gorgeous stuff. So, as we can see here, arrows in the front line. It looks like we are going to be getting the Soul Crusher Mammoth coming through. Shot straight to the face of the Mammoth. So here we are going to be having Seafang in the front line. Burning Head in the front line, going to catch one. Maybe even catch a unit of the Huntsman in the back. No, it's going to bend pretty hard here. I don't really understand why it does that sometimes so much. But yes, net in the middle here. So we are going to shoot the Brutes of the Hound. And perhaps the rest as well. The Soul Crusher is going to struggle here. Fighting in melee combat is going to be the 3 company militia. Decent melee combatants indeed. Good melee attack. Do struggle here. A little bit on that melee defense, but not too bad otherwise. Burning Head through the middle here. I'm sure it's going to catch quite a lot of the forces here. We could see another bend as well. Burning Head is going to go through the front. Is it going to catch? No, it's going to miss a lot of these Norscans here in the front, and it's going to miss the Brutes of the Hound as well. So the Zintler's Reichsguard here going to be charging into the Soul Crusher Mammoth. And it looks like here we are going to be having 60% damage resistance, the Scroll of Shielding, as well as Enrage going down for that 60% damage resistance. Arrows flying in here from the Death Jacks as well. They are going to have that snipe ability here. Very colourful unit. I do like the Death Jacks. They did some nice work to them for sure. Burning Head went straight through the pocket, did some pretty decent damage, but the Brutes of the Hound are coming forward. We have the Norseman Hounds in the back, really taking some good damage here up against the Huntsman and the rest of the White Wolves. Charges here from the Blazing Knights. The Knights of the Blazing Sun here going to get recharged by the Soul Crusher Mammoth. So here we are going to be having also a big bad boat. That's going to go straight through the cavalry here up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Not going to quite catch in the back here against the Huntsman either, but some nice work otherwise. It looks like here the Norscan Warhounds were taken down by the Knights of the Blazing Sun. No, not even them, by the Zintler's Reichsguard, in fact. Knights of the Blazing Sun on the left fighting here up against the Marauder Chariots. Huntsman in combat as well. So we have broken the 3 company militia just dotted on the front line here. We have some Marauders here dotted with some Berserkers. They should hopefully come back pretty quickly. We're in the back here on horseback. We are going to have Wolfrit the Wanderer shutting down in the backside here of the 3 company militia. Soul Crusher, looks like he's going to try and turn a burn. Can we catch here, though, Marcus Wolfhart? It looks like we're trying to do that with a Familiar Belfiend. Norscan Warhounds are going to be ripping apart Marcus. Only 50 armor there for himself, so he is going to struggle. Okay, nice good overview of the battlefield here. We can see some nice push on the right-hand side. A big win on the right-hand side here for the Norscans. Left-hand side is looking a little bit more dominant, though. For the Empire, we can see better trades. Huntsman over here. Burning Head going straight through the Marauder Berserkers here. Doing okay damage. Not brilliant, not bad either. We can see that the Knights of the Blazing Sun just waiting here. Looks like they're going to be fighting moderately here up against the Marauder Chariots. Breaking here with the Huntsman in the background. Looks like we are going to get some free militia on the top of the hill, though. In the pocket, though, just like we have broken Marcus Wolfheart. Can we kill him, though, is the question. Brightwood is going down. He has been terrified. So we are going to be sending some Marauders in the direction here of Marcus. Could we get Wolfric, though, to come over and fight him? The Hunter and the Hunter going up against each other. Big shots into the flank of the Soul Crusher. Burning Head yet again going through the Marauder Berserkers. Looks like we are going to get that physical resistance and that Berserk mechanic going off at tier 3. Going to be fighting there at full capacity with leadership and melee attack as well. In the middle, though, looks like we have lost the Fire Mage. But in the back here, we still have Marcus Wolfheart going strong. Don't want Marcus Wolfheart coming back here. Don't want any nets coming back online. It looks like Wolfric the Wanderer is going to be in chase. He could certainly use a Hunters of Champions here to pin him in place and certainly deal with him, shall we say. In the backside, Free Company Militia and the Huntsmen are going to be struggling on this right-hand side. Some more doggos coming back to aid as well. These units have broken. Could get chased off here by the Marauder Chariot. But yes, Marcus is going to get caught here by Wolfric. One Hunter destroying another Hunter. Hunters of Champions going down. Negative armor, negative melee defense. 20 armor, 5 melee defense. It will not stand here up against the man, the myth, the legend. Knights of the Raging Sun have been broken and getting absolutely smashed here. Terrified. And that is going to be balance of power and army losses. GG's and well played here to Mr. Artisan Tech Priest West. Coming through with a very, very big win. So we smashed the triple up there for him. Nice work from him. So, well played here. It looks like we're going to have 220 here for Marcus Wolfheart, 480 for the Bright Wizard, 350 and 180 for the Free Company Militia, with 210, 220 here as well, and for the RR 770 for the Sterling's Revenge. 250, 250, 310, and 350 here for the Huntsman. And for the White Wolves, we are going to be having 450, 522 for the Death Jacks, and here 640 and 480 for the Knights of the Rising Sun, with 775 here for the Senseless Rights Guard. 640 for Wolfric the Wanderer, with 600 as well for the Famir Belfiend of Fire. 1.5k here for the Soul Crusher, 750, 900, 160, and 1000 here for the Beasts of Tash Nar. 270, 380, 680, and 450 for the Marauders. And 197, 420, and 480 for the Marauder Berserkers, with 600 here for the Marauder Chariots with a silver chevron. Alrighty, GG's well played to everybody. What I will be doing, guys, is I'm going to be signing out here and saying thank you very much to everybody that played today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the stream. I really do. I'll be throwing some more content coming in the next couple of days as well. Obviously, I'm doing content every single day. So if you guys did like this, please smash that like button and do think about subscribing. It really does help the channel, and I really appreciate it. Other than that, yeah, take care of yourselves. I'm going to be leaving a link here to. We'll be leaving a link here to Turin, so you guys will be able to join in there and see beep boop from me. So I'm going to hop over there, I'm going to say hello to Turin and give him a beep boop from me. And yes, I'll see you guys all very, very soon. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the future. No problem, Mr. CJ. Take care of yourself, buddy.